How are you?
I'm good.
Hello, chat. How you doing?
I love that. It's I'm sorry I let you sit in there for a while there. I left you
No, you're
so
good.
long you had to change shirts.
No, you're good, man.
And I think you even put on a hat too. I don't
Yeah,
I was like, oh my goodness, we're gonna have a whole new wardrobe by the time I'm done doing this intro.
I know, right?
You have gray hairs and yeah. So right off the top of every single show, we start with a little game show called Quick Questions.
Okay.
However, we have a question for the guest right off the bat. I'm gonna let EE have his time to shine because he asks this every single time, and you are no different. Before we play quick questions, I will ask you. And the question from EE is: how do you feel about Scotland?
How do I feel about Scotland?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, but I do know that is probably one of the places. Yeah, that's definitely one of the places on my bucket list to go visit
Okay.
for
Okay.
sure.
That's fair. I mean, he asks this to every guest. Most guests don't even have that much, so I'm just saying. Um. Oh my goodness. Okay, I see your things there, EE. I will get to them in Donovan's. I just wanted to give you the EE thing because I know EE was waiting there for a minute. We'll get to that. I promise you. But we're gonna play quick questions. Maybe this is the first time you've ever played quick questions, and you're like, "What the hell is quick question? What are you even talking about? What is that?" Well, I'm gonna get you to direct your eyes to the screen on Twitch so I can show you what is quick questions, and we'll run the little intro here as I explain quick questions. So, Quick Question is a fairly simple game. It consists of 3 easy rules. Those rules are that number 1, there is going to be 10 questions. Number 2 is that the guest, you are going to have 60 seconds to answer every question. And for every 5 seconds left on the clock, the viewers are going to be gifted 1 sub. So, there's no direct pressure to you. However, the chat might be a little bit annoyed if you don't win them some subs. I'm just saying. It's a good way to make me go broke.
I got you.
Pressure, exactly. No pressure, but pressure.
All good.
So, chat, I need you ready because every single question that is answered here, I need you to question a little bit. Give him a little bit of a push if he stumbles on something. So, because sometimes we do. And then thank you, Donovan and mods for setting up that podcast command. I appreciate you guys. And then to Bear. I'm gonna give you. Are you ready, or do you need anything? Do you need to like kind of like get in that zone? Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay, perfect.
Good.
No pressure, nose pressure. Yeah, really though. Sinus pressure. Yeah, that feels that. All right. So, chat, I need you to spam that love as we get into quick questions here, and we will start right about now. What is your favorite word?
No.
What is your favorite food?
Pizza.
What is your favorite drink?
Strawberry milk.
What is your favorite number?
7.
What is your favorite movie?
The Matrix Reloaded.
Who is or your favorite influencer or celebrity?
I would have to say Chadwick Boseman.
Okay. What is the favorite vacation that you've ever taken?
Florida.
What is your favorite animal?
Bear.
What is the favorite season?
Summer.
And what is the favorite gift that you have ever received?
Would probably be my Shure mic.
You're sure, Mike? Okay, I will say you just made it with 5 seconds left on the clock. So that is 1 gifted sub going to the viewer. Let me quickly pop that up, and then we're gonna ask you about all those. 1 sub, yeah, exactly. The chat's feeling a little dry because last time we did this, Happy went about 30 seconds over our last guest. I mean, he gave great answers, don't get me wrong, but I think we'll start. It's funny enough, it goes to him.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know what? We're gonna do one more. Because I feel like someone from chat. I mean, I'm sure Happy could be here, but however, I think that's kind of funny. So we'll give one more out just to someone else, just because it was Happy who was on here last time. It's going to Meg. Lovely.
Right.
Meg, a friend that we met from Man's episode about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Did someone say one more? Exactly. We get all the 2 subs today, pugs. So let's go back through these.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? Welcome to the stream. What's up, y'all? I'm new here. I've seen the guest who I had to pull up. You had to. Yo, thank you so much, Pugs. Appreciate it. And thank you. I think Veli is the name. Is that how you say it? Veli? I hope that's how you say it.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you,
that's
man.
Cuenca.
How do you say that? Cuenca?
Yeah, Cuenca. Yeah.
Cuenca. Thank you, Cuenca, for the follow. Appreciate you. I hope you enjoy your time here. It's gonna be fun. What's up, Yugi? What's up? How's it going? Thank you guys all for the follows. I appreciate you. However, we're playing quick questions. So we just asked 10 questions if you guys just got here. And so now we're gonna see. We're gonna talk about all these as well. I want to find out a little bit more about you through these 10 things. So you said your favorite word right off the rip, and you and I both giggled at this one as you said it.
Yeah.
I said, "What was your favorite word?" And you said no. So explain to me. I'm interested to hear how this has become your favorite word.
Because I don't know. I feel like as I got as I was younger, I used to say like yes a lot, and I feel like saying no just has so much more power to it.
That's fair. It totally does.
Yeah.
And it's a good word to be comfortable around. I'll put it that way.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Because there's sometimes we can get walked over because, like you said, as you're younger and you sometimes go on too much for those things. But that's good. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So your favorite food was pizza. Definitely can relate. But what kind of pizza? We talked a little bit before about some things, and I don't know if you want to show it on stream what things you like on pizza now. But no, okay,
No,
okay.
I mean, absolutely. So I have 2 different pizzas that I will get. I will either get pepperonis and pineapples. Of course, that is because at first I was against pineapples being on pizza, but then ever since I've been with Mama Bear, my girlfriend, she has converted me to liking pineapples on pizza. And then I'll get my favorite, which would be pepperoni, um, bacon, or maybe like Italian sausage and jalapenos.
Okay. You got a good taste in pizzas, I see.
Yeah,
I think the chat agrees with you on the pineapples on pizza. So
pineapples.
I think you're saying never mind. Multi doesn't. Just kidding. That's right. The
That's very
majority
safe, multi
of
doesn't like
people. I
it.
don't. I don't. Yeah, exactly. Number 3 actually surprised me. I don't know if you saw my face. I was like, wow, strawberry milk. You said is your favorite drink.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, so like, how does that become? Because I mean, I see a lot of people like chalky milk as their favorite, but
Hmm.
strawberry milk is a little bit of a switch up.
Yeah. I fell in love with Nesquik. Drinking Nesquik strawberry milk since I was little, and every now and then, I'll go in the grocery store, and like Mama Bear will pick up some strawberry milk, and I'll be like, I wonder how much of that I'm gonna drink, and I drink probably all of it, probably before she gets a cup of it.
All right, well, that's fair. You know what I'm thinking? I don't think I've ever tried strawberry milk now that I'm thinking about it, which is
Yeah.
crazy. So maybe I gotta change that. Strawberry milk is superior, always has been for as long as I can remember. Wolf, I mean, I have to try. Um, favorite number you said was number 7. Is that like
Yes.
correlated to like a sport you've played in the past or a date of birth or something like that? Where does that come from?
It's the month of my birth, July.
Okay, so that's all it came from. Have you ever wore that in any sports or anything like that, or just
My basketball jersey.
Okay, awesome. Your favorite movie you said was Matrix Reloaded.
Yes.
All right, tell me a little bit more about the Matrix. What makes it your favorite movie?
Well, I mean, if what the first Matrix came out, March 31st, I think 1999, if I'm correct. That movie was a mind blower. I think a lot of everything that even in today's time, a lot of the sayings in the Matrix are still being said today, like the red pill or blue pill. Like, am I dreaming or am I still awake? Or, I feel like I'm living in the Matrix, or like a deja vu or a glitch in the Matrix when something goes wrong. You know what I mean? So when I saw Matrix 2, and I saw Neo for the first time, like fully realizing his powers, it gave me the impression of like Superman, which is one of my favorite heroes of all time. So of course, like seeing the correlation between the two, I just really fell in love with The Matrix Reloaded.
Interesting. Interesting. I see Mama Lisa has a question for you though. That I usually will charge these for these ones, but I'm actually interested too. You said your birthday's in July. What day? Because I have both my parents actually are born in July as well.
July 20th.
That's the same day as my dad. That's crazy.
Oh wow.
That's nuts. That's really
Oh,
crazy.
that's cool. Oh, that's really good. I
um,
like that.
really though. Um, look at that, another glitch in the matrix, I guess, eh?
Yeah, that's crazy. That is wild.
um, your favorite influencer you said was Chadwick. My goodness, I'm drawing a
Bozeman.
blank on the last name.
Chadwick Boseman.
Bozeman, that's who it is.
Yeah.
What makes Chadwick Boseman your influencer or celebrity of choice?
Um. Well, the just the movie Black Panther. Um, in general. I mean, I have the helmet of Black Panther,
Awesome.
and that movie kind of hits home for me because of I I can literally relate to that, to what happened to Killmonger, and trying to set right what my ancestors did wrong. I can understand how T'Challa feels about that, but I can also relate to the pain of Killmonger as well.
Okay, okay. I like how you switched that up too, because you said like Matrix is your favorite movie, and then you also said that is, I'm sure, is a close second as well. And yes, of course, may he rest in peace. Exactly.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Taken from us too soon, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Um,
way too soon.
your favorite vacation that you've ever taken, you said was Florida. I'm
hmm
interested. So what in Florida? What happened in Florida? How was Florida the number one?
Florida was a very peaceful place. When we went to Orlando, and like just to experience that, to like go skydiving and things of that. It was like it was very peaceful for like one of what I would feel like is a very few times in my life. Everything just felt like in line, like everything lined up, everything just felt like all the puzzle pieces fit, and I was at peace, and it was just an amazing feeling to have.
Interesting. It's funny. My girlfriend said very opposite of our opinion. So we had a in 2019 we went to Florida, and we had a very unlike vacation as your your time in
Oh,
Florida.
geez.
We actually, and I think it probably started from the startup of where we spent over 20 hours in airports trying to get to Florida.
Oh my good.
Yeah, and so it's good. So I think that kind of ruined a lot of the trip, unfortunately. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's I'm glad you had fun and skydiving. That sounds awesome.
yeah, yeah.
We're definitely gonna hear about that later, I'm sure.
hmm
Um, favorite animal you said was bear. I mean, I should have known.
Yeah,
But what
yeah.
makes it bear? Like, what is the significance of a bear that kind of has brought you to that kind of point?
Just the ability to hibernate for a long period of time and then come back out. And bears are very even though they may look all fuzzy and cute and cuddly, provoke one and it's a very dangerous animal. So I look at the bear from like my own physical transformation, from being like this small kid to now this big, grown man in a sense. And just like strength, bravery, and courage. I think those are three things that bears, the qualities that bears have. So I kind of associate it with myself.
Interesting. I like that hibernation kind of quote that you said there too.
Yeah.
That definitely is a good one.
Mhm.
Favorite season you said was summer. So
Yes.
interesting. So when the bears come out.
Yeah, this one comes out during the summer. It's just, I don't know. I'm not like a huge super duper fan of it being like overly hot, but I was born in one of the hottest summers ever. So of course, for me, I love when it gets warm. I'm not a big fan of the cold, but fall is like a close second. But I just love the ability to go outside and like wear shorts and stuff like that. I don't like being like bundled up too much.
Okay. I mean, that's a good one. Okay, I like that.
Mm.
It's kind of like the fashion side of things for the most part.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the favorite gift you said you've ever received was your Shure mic. The mic you're
hmm
using right now. Who
Yes.
gets to that, and how did that become the favorite gift?
That would be Mama Bear. She gifted it to me, and there was a period where I was like kind of like I wasn't too sure about streaming because I didn't know how everything was gonna pan out, and I had some very hard self doubts about how things would translate, how I would come across if I was gonna be born. Of course, we've all been there, but one thing that I felt like I needed to take pride in was how I sounded. So I went from the Blue Yeti, which is a great mic, and then I like did research on like some of the best mics for streaming, and then the Shure mic popped up, and all I saw was like red at that point because then I started doing research about the Shure mics and how they sound, and I was like, oh yeah, I have to get this mic. I have to get this mic. I think I probably annoyed Mama Bear to the point where she was just like, let me get this man this mic before he drives me crazy. So she gifted me the mic, and I've been grateful ever since.
No kidding. It's an amazing mic. It's a great mic.
Yeah.
It is by far, and I've talked to audio technicians. Multi's brother, actually, I was talking the other day about. He is a audio technician or studying to become an audio technician. And when I asked him, I said, "What do you think if I was to get a mic that's upgraded from this one? What would you say?" And he said, "There's no question in my mind. I wouldn't say anything else except for a Shure mic." And
Yeah.
and yeah, no, the best quality episodes that I've had is from Shure mics, and so
Sure
I
mics.
it's where I'm going next. It's eventually going to be that Shure mic, but I just once the money's there, you know.
Yeah. So the crazy thing, so this one isn't the most people have the SM7B, which is like the more expensive one.
Yeah.
This is the MV7, but what I did was I did a hack. So I took the old windscreen off, and it should be on Amazon. It's like a RK35 or RK45 mic, windscreen for the SM7B. I put that one on this mic, and it helped with like the P's and pronunciation. So that's probably why
Ooh,
it sounds so much better.
interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay, so maybe we'll have to figure maybe I'll have to look into
Yeah,
that then.
little cheat
Yeah,
code.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you have to send me all these links and stuff after stream, I'm
yeah, I
interested to do
definitely
it
will.
because yeah, no, I've
Yeah.
been looking into it for a while, but I haven't been able to pull the trigger.
Okay.
Well, that is quick questions. Yeah, I'm sure Mike is definitely top tier. Exactly.
Yes.
Um, that is quick questions. However, we got a couple more questions, and one of the questions that I usually ask right off the rip is actually, hang on, I realized I have some more questions from the guests. I got to go back to here
Yeah.
before I forget here.
Let's see.
We have all right, so EE's question, and then we got Donovan's, which I love to start on this one. This is one of my favorite questions to start on,
Okay.
because you really get to know a person off of this question. It's a funny one, but you
Oh
get to
yeah.
know a lot about a person off the funny ones.
Yeah.
Donovan asks, this is by the way another one of those like community questions that we have here that comes up almost every stream.
Okay.
Donovan's question is toilet paper, over or under?
I would say under.
It's been nice knowing you guys. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. um, yeah, exactly. Well, we are usually a a over community, but okay, explain to me why you're a psychopath.
I don't know. I mean, well, only because like for the most part, when like Mama Bear like cleans the bathroom and stuff like that, normally she's under. So I kind of like just go with the flow. I try not to upset the natural order of things because I ain't trying to
Yeah.
get fussed at. But hey,
I
it's
mean,
okay.
fair, but I mean, it's one of
No,
those
I
things
get it.
you pick your battles, but that would be one you got to pick. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Wolf, I'm just happy there's toilet paper, really though. Um,
That's a good
that's a
one.
good one. That's a good one. Even if Brendan, I put it under Brendan always change it. It's true. It is true. That's the fight I take.
That's funny.
This question itself has grown some legs, and so we got a couple other things here.
Okay.
They've been provoked by our lovely friend Sweet Mango, who's been on the podcast,
Mhm.
and she's kind of created some legs into this. So the other question we have is, when you use toilet paper, do you scrunch or fold?
Fold.
Okay, okay. Donovan, he was under. I know, right? um, and then the other question, the final one that Mango and I were talking about, which we just there's so many clips of it now. Oh yeah, right. I know. I said I said the same thing, Donovan. Um,
Oh, I gotta go.
yeah, really though. Yeah. We have some people who are quite adamant about being over. The other question, the final question we have is when you wipe, are wiping front to back or back to front?
um, front to back.
Okay. Okay. Sure. That's
Yeah,
fine.
back to front just doesn't sound. That sounds terrible.
All right. See how much you get to know about a person when you ask about toilet paper, huh?
Front sounds terrible. That just sounds. Oh, that just. Oh yeah, no way.
Got some stanky nuts.
Yeah, that's just.
Really though. Fair enough. The next question actually is for me from EE, which
Okay.
EE, I think this is the first time you've ever asked me a question. I hope you're here because I know it's been about 20 minutes since you asked your question. The question is, and I know it's because of you here, I know it is, but what is your favorite cereal? And your answer will be judged by Bear. So I know I already have the wrong answer. I know I do, because you've already told me about it. But I am actually a fan of Froot Loops. Um
Oh no, not the Fruit Loops. Oh, well,
uh,
guys, it's been nice. Get ready to log off, disconnect myself.
touche. Okay, okay. I see you. Um
That's funny.
what's it called? I will say like a close second would be like Honey Nut Cheerios, but
Listen, Honey Nut Cheerios is really good. But Fruit Loops, yeah.
so obviously this wow, the tables turned really though, Balti. I would say though is I'm gonna flip this on you because I
Yeah.
mean I'm pretty sure I know, but I'm interested to find out what is your favorite cereal.
Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay, so what is it? I've seen it all over Twitter. I've seen it all over everything. I've seen tags from people sending each other things. I've seen
Oh
candy
yeah.
corn for some reason too in this kind of mixture of things recently. But let's stick with let's get to there in a second. Let's
Oh.
stick with the cereals first.
So for me, it's just like it's just the cinnamon and the sugar, and then after you don't let your of course you don't let your you try your best not to let the cereal get soggy, but after you soaked Cinnamon Toast Crunch in the cereal for long enough, you have the cinnamon milk, and then I've had the absolute pleasure of trying Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal with vanilla ice cream. Heavenly. Tastes
Interesting.
great. Absolutely. And then I bought a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch toasted strudels. Oh, delicious. And then of course they actually made like Cinnamon Toast Crunch ice cream in the stores.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Ah, I had no idea it was that deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what's it called? But I will say though, is our mutual friend, Mr. Ken Carter, actually said similar things, but the opposite. When my girlfriend actually asked him about when she was talking about cereal, and he said, "Oh, you need to get cinnamon toast crunch." So I'm the same page there. But he said you have to let it go soggy, and that's when it gets good.
Um I mean, I don't, I don't want my cereal to dissolve as soon as I like eat it. But I mean, you got the cinnamon milk afterwards, so maybe that's why.
Okay,
But
maybe. I didn't
I
I
need
didn't
I
I
need
didn't
some crunch
inquire,
in my
but
cereal.
all right. Anybody else just not eat cereal? I mean, maybe that's the wrong answer. No, not kidding. Um, just kidding. Well, just bugging. I will say though is um for you. So let's go. So that's crazy about this the cereal thing. And then I don't know if you know, but I'm interested to kind of see if you do know because I saw someone. I think it was Initial D, the one the homie we were talking about earlier before the stream.
Oh,
Um,
not the candy corn.
what is this candy corn thing? What is it? Why?
Candy corn for me is like the devil's candy. I will never touch candy corn. It is blech. I can't do it. But he had a stream and he was talking about candy corn. I think he had like candy corn, custard, and something else like mixed in. I was like, what in the world type of mm-mm. I can't do candy corn. So I mean, I know I'm gonna probably get lit up in the chat, but I can't do candy corn. For me, it's like Twix, Reese's, and Kit Kat. Those three top tier for me. But I know Initial loves candy corn, so he's kind of like started a little candy war on Twitter. I think it's kind of
Oh,
funny.
I was wondering what the all of a sudden all of a sudden I'm seeing so many candy corn like gifts, and I'm like, why? What are we doing?
Y- Yeah, like
Um,
I'm with you. Candy corn should be illegal.
okay, so
I don't like it.
at least we're all on the same page here, or most of us. I know my girlfriend is definitely not. Um, but candy corn, no, I just it's not for me. I don't know. It's just I
See,
don't.
that's what I'm saying.
It's it's like why eat candy corn when you could have like literally anything else.
Exactly.
You get beat. I can hear the door like shaking.
It's terrible.
um,
Kit Kat, Reese's, and Twix. Oh, greatest.
it's pure sugar in the shape of corn. Exactly. Like you don't need this.
Right.
It's just. She's throwing hands at your friend. Yeah, really though. We about to. If I randomly go offline, you'll know why. um.
That's
However,
funny.
and that we also. Oh my goodness, you guys got a lot of questions here. This is great. You didn't have to use your question thing for that one, Alyssa, but we'll get in there. We'll get to that.
Or Reese's. She said, "Say Reese's again."
I'm pretty sure because she I think I just heard it go off in another room. What's it called? It is Reese's.
You say, "Yeah, Reese's." Reese's.
I'm waiting to hear it go in there. It's Reese's. Reese's. That's what she says. It's Reese's.
Eh,
Is
Reese's.
it,
Reese's.
I
Tomato.
asked.
Tomato.
I hear her screaming in the other room. I don't know what she's saying, but I hear her screaming. There's no. She went Reese's. What's it called? However, the the other one is like caramel or caramel.
I feel like it's caramel.
Yeah, that's the one I say too. I was like, what do I say again?
Like caramel.
Caramel? Yeah, I don't know. I
What was the
mean,
A silent? The other A silent? Like, no, it's caramel.
okay, yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page. Okay, good. Got a couple things on there.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go to the next question because if not, we're never gonna get out of this these fights here. But
Like,
Mr. Brados, another community question that we get quite often from Mr. Brados. Have you ever watched? Or sorry, let me start again. Have you watched Outer Banks, and if so, what are your thoughts?
Outer Banks. Yes, I have. Honestly, well, my favorite character is probably Kiara.
Okay.
Just because I feel like she's had it like really. The only thing I didn't like was like her and who was the other one? Um, if at first it looked like she had a crush on what was it? I think his name was like what was the main John C. I think
John
um
B.
John B. Yeah, John
Yeah,
B.
yeah.
So I thought like they were gonna have a love story, but then the the one girl who like came over to the Pogue side, um, they ended up having like a little love story. And I thought the love story was cool, but I really like wanted John B and Kiara to end up together. But my favorite character is Kiara. She seems like the wildest out of them all, except for the one kid who had the abusive father.
I've never watched it, so I don't know.
But I
I have not personally watched it, but I think that's why Mr. Brados is asked every single time because he's just waiting for me to
I
watch
like
it.
it. I really like it. Yeah,
Okay,
it's good. I really
interesting.
like it.
I see that Pugs is paid for Mama Lisa's question. Tiggs, if you're here, if you can please refund that, we'll give that back to Pugs, as well as you could also give Alyssa's one back for saying Reese's again. That's yeah, take those for the real questions here, especially if they're later in the episode.
Yeah.
Um, so those are the community questions. We might have more throughout the way, but let's go back to the
Oh yeah.
questions that I have here.
hmm
What made you want to begin streaming or content creation altogether?
I felt like I've watched so many. I've watched some of my influence, the people who influenced me in streaming, do it. So I felt like I have a story to tell, and I don't know who I could reach in telling that story. So I felt like I don't know. I felt like an obligation to share um, some of the things that I've gone through to hopefully get the message across that you're not alone. Like we've all dealt with very terrible situations, but that's the best thing about having a community is that you're not alone in dealing with that situation.
I totally true. It's nice to have. I mean, it's never fun to go through things, but it's a lot nicer to do it with someone that you have someone doing it with you and
Yeah,
supporting you through at least.
absolutely.
Um, what is the too long didn't read version of your life from the little the cub project to now the full big bear project? What was that kind of starting the first kind of memories to kind of leading up, growing up into now what we know as bear?
Um, if I could do it in 3 words,
You can do it as
I'll do
long
it
as
in
you want, by the way.
yeah, I'll do it in 3 words.
Okay.
Um, happiness, pain, peace.
Okay. Let's go one by one by those. So let's start with which one do you want to start with? I'll ask you.
Um, let's go let's go backwards. Let's go to peace.
Okay.
Um, now being a more mature man, but still learning and growing, I have found a place of peace. Not too many things like really aggravate me. I mean, I have pet peeves, but for the most part, I'm a very calm individual now. Like the middle part, pain, that was like dark, just nothing but black. Um, so to go from that to now be a more peaceful, more like self-aware and aware in every other sense, feels good to have gone through what I went through to get to that point. It feels great. It feels like I really accomplished something. And now, of course, getting ready to have a little one, teaching them, uh, teaching them to be better than me, or be better than I was. And then with pain, it was a very, very, like I said, black. Literally, like one of the worst events of probably. I'm not even gonna say one of the worst event of my life. And I was a teenager when this happened, and it changed my outlook on everything. Like um, I really went from tunnel vision to peripheral vision, like watching everything from the side because I never knew. You never know who's gonna blindside you, and when I got blindsided by the person I got blindsided by, which of course we'll explain later in the podcast. It flipped my whole entire world, my whole entire way of thinking upside down. And then of course, the happiness, me being a little kid, I didn't life was a game to me. You know what I mean? My parents made sure I was good, every Saturday morning sitting in front of the TV with a bowl of cinnamon toast crunch watching Saturday morning cartoons. Life was joy. And then teenage years hit and then I found out very early that the real world is not as kind as it looks or as it's portrayed in the movies.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I'm very interested to kind of get to know the creator that is the Bear Project and the person behind the Bear Project. Um, so I'm very excited for that.
Yes, me
As
too.
we go into the stream here, you definitely given us a good setup for what this episode is about to be about, which is really exciting. And yeah, thanks Tiggs for the sended love, and thanks you Flash for the follow as well there. Um, do you have any secret hobbies or skills that most people would not know about you?
Secret hobbies. Most would know, yeah, I like collecting, I like collectibles.
Okay,
Like a lot
kind.
of like let me see. I got one. Uh I got my I got my Ghost of Tsushima mask. I got a couple Dragon Ball Z characters here on my desk. I'm a big Captain America fan. I don't know if anybody saw it, but if you
I saw it on Twitter.
go, yeah, if you go on my Twitter, I literally have the costume on, took pictures and everything. I'm a big fan of Resident Evil, so I have some collectibles of that. But yeah, most wouldn't know that I do collectibles.
Mhm. Awesome. That's cool. Okay. Um, that's an interesting one. I've never actually. That's not one that's come up before. Is like about collectibles. That's really cool.
Yeah.
The next Captain America. I'm speaking to existence. I'm just saying. If you were given, I don't see you as the kind of like the person who is materialist. Well, I mean, maybe the collectibles. I don't know, but like for the most part, I see you as kind of a person that's more, um, kind of about the feelings and understand. And it does a really good job, um, in the kind of understanding the feelings. So I think this might be a hard one for you, actually. This one, but if you're given three things to make you happy, materialistic things, what would these three things be?
Um, my pen, my pad.
I'll give you
I,
both those
you know,
together. I'll give you both those together if you want to.
okay. Pen pad, pen pad, record player, and probably my favorite album of all time, which would be "To Pimp a Butterfly" by Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. I can give you the record two player two if you want to add another one in there. Because I think I
No,
mean okay,
those
okay,
that
well.
four, that good four. I'm good.
Sounds
I'm
good.
good. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to hear about them. So obviously got the pen and paper, which I mean, or the pad you said, which is I mean makes sense. But why to you is that your
Because
item?
sometimes when I can't get my feelings out in words, I write them out. It's so much easier. That way, at that point in time, if I get my if I get my words out right at the moment, they may come off abrasive. They may come off. They may be misinterpreted or misconstrued. If I can write it out, then I can kind of like see like, yeah, maybe let me scratch that word out. Maybe I don't need to use that word because that word could evoke an emotion that I'm not trying to evoke. And then it's great with like planning. Whenever I plan like a Bare Your Soul episode on my stream, I normally write it out. That's why, I have like whenever I post pictures, I have like titles for everything. It's so weird, but I have like titles for everything. So when I write out my episodes or whatever theme I'm coming up with, I call it "The pen is mightier than the sword" because you write those words down. They they start as thoughts and then they manifest in onto the paper. So these are your thoughts being written out. So you could do a lot more damage with your writing than you could with, you know, with a sword, essentially. So it just helps with daily planning. It helps me get my feelings out. It helps me get just words out. Even if I can't explain the feeling, just writing in general is therapy for me. Um, of course, To Pimp a Butterfly is my favorite album of all time. It is a very unapologetically black album, but I love like the storyline behind it. One of my favorite songs on To Pimp a Butterfly is actually um, "How Much a Dollar Cost," and basically what the song is about. It's about Kendrick and this poor man that he ran across, and the poor man was only asking for $1, but Kendrick was being like arrogant and wouldn't give him the dollar. Come to find out, there's something about this poor man that he can't shake. There's something looks different about him, and every verse is a clue to who he is. And at the end, the poor man is actually God in disguise. And because Kendrick was so arrogant and didn't give him $1, that $1 cost him his spot in heaven. And like when I first heard that song, it shook me to my core. It was like, wait, what? Nah, when he dropped the bomb that it was God, I felt like I had an inkling of who it could be. Um, but when it was revealed that it was God, I was like, oh, so you never know who could be talking through another person. You never know. So, if you can give, give. Of course, the energy you put
Mhm.
out, it'll come back. So,
It's so true. I think is what you put out in the world is always going to come back, and I think
yeah,
that's why I've gotten like I've seen so many amazing creators, and the ones that are like, for instance, giving their time to me to come on this show, you as well, you included, is it goes to show
yeah.
because the selflessness of doing that, even as small as it is. I mean, small it is, I say, but that's you're going to be spending 4 hours of your time, give or take here. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not as small exactly, totally, but it's definitely something that's very valuable.
Mhm.
Not easy, but I think it goes to show is everyone treat everyone with kind of how I mean, I want to say how you want to be treated, but even further than that, how they would like to be treated,
Yeah.
is definitely a thing to kind of look. look towards for sure.
I agree.
Um, just before we go to the break, I'm gonna ask you one last question here, and then we're gonna hit a quick little break and play two choose one line when you get back.
Mhm.
Um, but what has been the peak and the pit of your streaming career?
Um, Honestly, the peak has probably been when I really started like diving into talking about mental health, and not only just talking about mental health, but hearing out the viewers, because I allow them to, vent. Like you never know. Sometimes just venting is enough. Sometimes people don't need us to respond. Sometimes people just need us to listen. Just listen to them get it off, and they're good. But then sometimes some people do want advice. So it's kind of like you gotta like gauge their approach, and see which approach works for you. And I think ever since I've been doing that, that's when it's like my streaming has gone like up, like exponentially. Um, the pit of it, probably the beginning. Like I said, that's when I had like a lot of self doubt, and I wasn't too sure like if I was gonna be a good streamer, because I didn't know if I was gonna come across as like monotone or boring. But once I started like thinking like, okay, I have a story to tell, and I think people would be engaged and intrigued about it. And not only that, but it could you could reach a heart, you could touch a life, you can save a soul just by speaking about some of the trials and tribulations you've gone through, because they've probably gone through the same thing, but they may not have the ability to speak up about it. And here you are, kind of like, dude, are you like in my head right now? Like, you just explained my situation way better than I ever could. Now I don't feel so alone. There you
It's
go.
true. It's very true. We've had so many guests who have said things
Yeah.
along the lines of that, and like, or of like when they open, one of the first things I think do is thank them for how vulnerable they have been, because
Yes.
what a lot of creators or sometimes people don't understand is that when you just speak it out, even if it's your pain and it's something that may be tough for you to talk about, that just
Hmm.
helps someone else, someone who's
Yes.
watching it, whether it's live or maybe it's that's why I'm so eager to put this in a podcast format for like this incident. Is I want it to be more reachable for people to be able to be like, okay, this someone else in this world is going through this. It's not
Yes.
just me. I'm not actually alone. Okay, I can do this. I got
Yes.
I got someone who's gone through it, or I have someone who's going through it that I kind of know about and things like that. And so and I think it also too, it also adds like a real person behind the creators, because I think it's really easy to like not see
Yes.
like you said at the very beginning, it's so hard and like you're stressed about everything. And when I started this, it was like I felt like nervous reaching out to who people who are now some of my closest friends. Like I reached out
Yes.
to these people, like, and I had no idea who these people were. Like the first few episodes, I have Chad the Deviant, Miss Brunetti, Sam Fashion, and Just Stray, who are four of my closest friends right now. And it's just so crazy to me that I was so nervous to meet them, and now they're like some of my best friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, isn't that crazy? How people you've met on this platform, you feel closer to them than people you know in real life.
in certain senses, yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy how that happens.
it is pretty crazy. Same with like my mod team too. Every single person that I've met on here from my mod team are very
You're doing great, Bren.
thanks, Tiggs. Have been my I've all met from Twitch. It's been amazing. And
Yeah.
that also too, just the first thing is that some people just want to be listened to and stuff like that. The One of my friends who have actually been on the stream, his name is Meta or Metafish on Twitch.
Mhm.
A lovely creator. Um and he has in his Discord, I don't know what he calls it, but it's basically like essentially the scream room is kind of what I would call it. Is basically you basically just vent everything, or venting, you just vent everything out. No one is allowed to reply to anyone's things on there. It's just a place for to put stuff. It is
Yeah.
not something that it's not something you go in private message or anything like that. Unless someone reaches out to you, you're not allowed to
You.
do anything from that channel. It's something I would be very interested in going to check out, because or like trying to do, because I think it's such a helpful thing for people in certain senses.
That is a beautiful idea. That is a
Hmm.
really, really awesome idea.
And he said to me, dude, he's like, if it helps your community feel more comfortable, he's like, please feel free to use it. He's like, he's like, it's not something like that. I don't know if he even came up with the idea either, but he was definitely the person who was, kind of pushing it out to, kind of people to try. And I think it's awesome. So
Yeah, it is. That's a beautiful idea.
we're about to hit a break here. I want to thank Zachy for coming in. I followed you on Insta when you did something with Mr. Monkey. I appreciate you. That's been a while, but I'm so glad you came and decided to check us out. I hope you enjoy this stream. We're gonna go on a quick break. However, we're gonna be right back. We're gonna play some TikToks. They're actually brand new. Some of them have never even been seen before. There's gonna be a break screen that you guys won't want to miss. You might not even get to see all of them. But just keep that in mind. You're on my recommended. Yo, thanks, Zachy. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming in, by the way. Hope you enjoy your stay here. My name is Ren. This is the lovely Bear Project. We're going to play Two Choose One Lie, and we're going to be doing, we might be doing a giveaway in the very, very soon. So keep that in mind. B, you're actually in the break screen. Just to kind of give a little hint. And just to Lou, because I know Lou's out here, I'm just going to give a little thank you to Lou. What? Panic. It's okay, B. You've seen yours. It's all good. Don't worry. It's all right. It's okay. However, we'll see you guys in a second. Enjoy the breaks here. Hello, Damien. What's up? How's it going? Good to see you in here again. And we'll be right back after the break with Two Choose One Lie, and we're gonna give away an Amazon gift card today for $10. So make sure. Oh, I mean, we might. We gotta win Two Choose One Lie, but we'll see. Maybe there will be. I'll see you guys after the break. Take care. Go get some water. Enjoy those TikToks.
Maybe he would say, I don't know. And that's okay, but I think there would be some sort of answer that I could say, okay, I can accept this.
If you wrote a book about your life up to now, what would the final line say?
I think it would end with something along the lines of, and she was happy. I think the ultimate goal of life is to achieve happiness. I hope happiness for every single person. That is the ultimate goal. It just perfectly summarizes it. You just want to be happy in life. I don't have to be big and famous and be filthy rich. I just want to be happy. That's all I want. It's very simple, but I just want to be happy.
What is the best advice that you have ever received?
It was to prioritize myself. I was always worried about my friends, and eventually that took a toll on me. My therapist was like, you have to focus on yourself. At the end of the day, you can't help everyone as much as you want to, and you can't please everyone. So focus on yourself, really understand how you're feeling, and set your boundaries. You have to prioritize your well-being.
What is the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
You're the only person that can take care of yourself. Ultimately, you can ask others for help, and often you can get help, and that's wonderful. But when it comes down to it, you're brushing your own teeth every day, you're putting pants, you're the one taking care of yourself, you have to. If I want things to get done, I have to be the person looking for change.
What life-changing event have you experienced?
So I was with this person for just under 3 years, I think. But in that time, I basically completely isolated myself from my family, my friends. I was just like a typical, like very insecure teenager. I moved out just to be closer to this person. And this was a kind of like very controlling environment. Like they decided what I dressed, what I said. I couldn't swear because it wasn't ladylike. I couldn't buy protein powder because it would make me bulky. Developed an eating disorder. Didn't go to college for this person. It was a very, very controlling environment, and I moved in with this person when I was 18. And that was where I actually realized what kind of situation I was in. I think the worst part about it was because I had isolated myself so much, there are people that I lost because I didn't go spend time with them when I could. I was only allowed to be around that person, and that's it. You know, I lost my grandmother, and I lost someone who was basically a father to me during that time. And I think that's actually one of the things that created a turning point for me was when I lost that person, and the person that I was with told me that I just had to get over it. And I think mental abuse is something that's not talked about enough. I want people to know because I want people to be able to learn. If there is somebody in your life that is telling you how to dress and how to act and who to talk to and who to be around, that person is toxic and is not worth a moment of your time.
What is your biggest fear in life?
Regret. So I never want to put myself in a shoulda, woulda, coulda scenario. I want to know that I did my best in every scenario that I've ever been across. I want to know that if I thought I should be doing it, I did it. Even if I tried, who cares? I tried. If I failed, whatever, I tried. But I never want to regret not doing something. This is how I see it. You get born, there's that dash in the middle, and then you die. So it's all about, did you make your life worthwhile? Did you live to the fullest? Did you enjoy that moment? Because you got to remember, everything that you did, you don't take with you. Everything that you gained, you don't take with you. You got to understand that I got to enjoy what's here in the now. So absolutely, my biggest fear in this world will always be regret.
You're watching Connections, a podcast about human connections, premiering every Tuesday on Twitch TV/Brengrau. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
You live your life for you and you don't live it for anybody else. In reference at the time, it was about my dad and how I wanted to live my life, and you live your life for you. This is your life. You make it the way you want to. You're not here for a long time. You're here for a good time type thing. Do whatever makes you happy.
What life-changing event have you experienced?
So I was dating a girl and she just disappeared out of nowhere and she didn't really tell me why. Her parents showed up. Her mom gave me a letter. I was like, oh wait, where is she? It's just like, she recently passed away. That was like a life-changing moment to me because like in the letter it says, I apologize for not letting you know what happened to me because I didn't want you to be in the same pain where I was going to, because at the time she didn't tell me, but she had cancer. I was like, wow, I didn't know what that meant. That explains why she was very distant to me towards the end of the relationship. And what the note says, I apologize if your outlook on life or love changed because of me, but if you find someone that you truly love, don't let go of them.
Isn't that a sad one? Oh my goodness, everything's going off. No, stop. No, there we go. Okay. Crying and then quick questions is like, hi, could I join? Yeah, no, that one is really sad. What I realized is that the one that I just edited about Mans it played in the middle of it starting, so you guys will have to watch the full one. The full one is like really, really sad as well. TikTok, I know the TikTok of the Dre one is like so it's probably one of my favorites. That's one of our first episodes. Like I said, one of the homies, Just Dre. Yeah, no, it's a sad one. It's a really sad one. He opened up a lot, and I mean, hey, welcome to Connections. Unfortunately, there's sometimes we get a little bit of sad. We get real here is what we do, but we hear those real stories. For those of you who just joined us off the break, I'm gonna run a little intro for you to know who I am. I see that a lot of new friends in here. Speaking of Zachy, Damien, joining in, Flash came in after the intro, so I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a kind of an intro to who I am. And yeah, go check the podcast from Multi. There is we're starting to publish them. They're not all on there yet, so there's gonna be more adding on in the next couple days. But go follow it on whatever streaming platform you use, as they're gonna be updating very, very quickly in the next couple days. But this is me. This is what Connections is. Enjoy. Hi, I'm Bren, and welcome to my channel. I am a Canadian podcaster with a passion to form connections with individuals from all walks of life. On my show Connections, I explore the world through my guests' unique perspectives while gathering an insightful understanding of how they interact and perceive life.
That is a really good question.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a really good question.
That's a great question.
I ask questions that focus on uncovering stories of humble beginnings,
But I was like 13th place out of like 300 kids.
triumphant successes,
I used to swim for the Junior Australian Olympic trial team.
motivations,
I just built up that confidence in myself to say, you know what, fuck it, I don't care.
inspirations,
She was just always, I just always love her.
struggles,
The main thing that got me to where I am today is the bullying that I experienced.
and realizations.
Sometimes you cannot get closure.
My goal is to continue making connections to spark meaningful discussions, and I hope you will join me. So this is Connections, a podcast about human connections. So my boy Sharky, really though. This is the part of the part of the show where we play two truths and a lie. So maybe it's the first time you've ever been here, like I said, or maybe you don't know how to play two truths and a lie. Well, you know what? I'm glad you asked that question because we created an intro just for you. I'll get you guys to look at the screen as we play two truths, one lie. Two truths and a lie is quite simple, actually. There's a little additives what we threw in there and a couple of rules. So the rules of two truths, one lie is that the guest is going to provide 3 statements about themselves. 2 are a fact and 1 is a lie. Number 2 is that the viewers are going to be able to guess the false statement by voting in the poll. If the viewers are correct, one of the viewers will be getting a prize, the Amazon $10 gift card, and you must be in the Discord to claim, and you'll get 5 entries if you are subbed. If I choose the correct false statement, one of the viewers will become a VIP of this channel today, chosen by the lovely Bear Project. So, Bear, I'm going to give you the floor here.
Okay.
To announce your 3 statements that you have here, and then we're going to throw up a poll, and then we're going to dissect them. The chat is going to help me dissect your lies here, and then the chat will announce theirs, and then I will announce my choice after the poll is up. So I'll give you the floor.
I absolutely hate spiders.
Okay.
Will be another. Oh, I absolutely love very, very spicy food. And I've actually would be another one. Or I want to like make a really, really good one. Oh, I've actually I've never ever this is kind of funny. I've never ever went streaking during the winter.
Interesting. Okay. We're gonna pop up the poll in just a second here. However, I forgot to play the intro here for how is this sponsored? Well, this is sponsored by Bren's Closet, our merch store, and enjoy the little intro here we have for you. All right, Pog merch. Thanks, B. Appreciate you. So we have 3 things that we're going to dissect here. Number 1, chat, is going to be that. Thank you, Damien. Appreciate it. Is that you hate spiders. Number 2 is going to be that you love spicy food, and number 3 is that you've never gone streaking during winter. So I'll get Tiggs to start the poll. We'll do a couple minute poll. Oh, we got it. Perfect. What's the lie? So, why is this not popping up? What the heck? Okay, well, it is definitely there. I don't know why it's not showing up here, but it's 1, 2, or 3 if you have it on there. Why is that not showing up? I'm so sorry. So, what the heck is it not popping up here? Hold on one sec. We're gonna go. Actually, can I? Let's see here. 1, 2, or 3. I see a lot of people going for 3, which is never streaking during the winter. Being a lie. I mean, we've seen some things. What's up, Meg? How's it going? Welcome to the thing. Yeah, you got the we had a winner in the quick questions, and you actually were the one who got the gifted sub. So I'm glad you got it, and welcome in. I'm glad you're in here. See, some people saying the spicy food is the cap. I don't know. Chat has messed with me a couple times, so I don't know. However, if the chat gets it right, we're giving away a $10 gift card. So chat, if you haven't already done it, make sure you get your vote in that poll there already. If you haven't already, it is up. It is going. I don't know why it's not working. That it shows on screen though, because usually it does. Why is that not working? It'd be lovely if it did. Or to figure that out later. Make sure to vote. Exactly. Make sure to vote if you haven't already. Number 1 being that you hate spiders. Number 2, that you love spicy food. And number 3, that you've never gone streaking during winter. Keep that in mind there. You put your vote in. Perfect. Make sure to vote if you haven't already. Make sure you get those in. I see a lot of people are going for number 3 being the streaking thing. So we'll see. I don't know. it's always hard because like the it's hard because it's like I don't know if you're trying to throw me off or you're adding in more the thing is that usually when someone adds in more detail, it usually means it's a lie. However, that's not always true. Let me just see. I see a lot of no one's saying one. Everyone believes you on that. But I don't know if I do. Okay, so 3 is the winner for the chat. So I'm thinking. So let me just dissect it one more time. So hating spiders. 1, said you hate spiders. I feel like that could be a throw off because you'd be like, ah, no, I actually love spiders. I actually have my pet spider over here, Gary. Like, I don't know, maybe. Number 2, you said that you love spicy food. And I've seen you eat some wings. I don't know if you love it. I know you like it. I don't know if you love it. I don't know if you would consider it as a love for spicy foods. However, you haven't done a streaming for that in a while, so maybe that isn't one. No, I don't know. And then the other thing you said is that you've never went streaking during a winter. One thing we've learned from playing this game a couple times is that when a guest adds on a little bit too much, sometimes means it's a lie.
Okay.
So he said he absolutely loves spicy food. Absolutely loves. Sorry, apologies. What's it called? See, I don't know. I'm wanting to believe chat, you know, but chat has messed with me a couple times, so I'm a little hesitant to do so. However, I'm not going to stall too much. I'm interested to hear about all these, but
so in other words, the third one is the streaking the winner. That's the one that they think is the lie, right?
They think is the lies, the streaking one. I'm gonna flip it on you, and I think you threw that as a curveball for me. I think you faked us out too with a little like pump fake on us too, with being like, oh, what's that one? I can't remember, but I think you already had it down. So let me. I don't know if I can't tell, if that one's a real one or not. However, I'm gonna say that you actually do like spiders. And they have a great poker face, and you're staying cool, calm, collected as I'm calling you out on this. I'm gonna say that's the lie. However, Chad is going with the never went streaking. Have we both messed this one up, Bear? Is hating spiders the lie?
Ali Gra, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I absolutely love spiders. My favorite spider is the Goliath bird eater.
No shot, I just did that. That's nuts. You stayed. I thought for sure I was like, I don't got this one. There's no shot because you were like so cool and calm when I called it out on that. You did not even give me a reaction. When all the other ones you gave me like reactions like, oh yeah. So I'm actually right. So
Randy Rogers lost.
So I need you to. We're gonna go through these first. However,
that is big.
What do you want to do first? Do you want to explain the stories first, or do you want to do the VIP giveaway? We can do either one you want to do.
So we could do. I'll do the stories.
Okay, let's do stories first. Okay, so the spiders thing. Obviously you don't hate spiders. You told us your favorite one. What is it called again? It's called the Goliath bird eater.
Yes.
That sounds like a menace.
Yeah, it is. It's a very aggressive spider. It has a bad attitude.
Those are the ones that you like, that you when they walk in the door, you're like, yeah, you're paying rent or you're leaving. Like
yeah. Especially that one. That one is probably about as big as a dinner plate or a baseball mitt.
Holy smokes! Where do they come? Where do they?
Harry Potter. Got it right. There you go. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What's up, Falk? How's it going, buddy? I gotta see this now. Hold on. I'm gonna mess up the screen totally here for just a second here just to see this. I'm too interested.
Professor, what's going on, man?
I am too intrigued now. You've sparked my interest. We're gonna see this. If you are scared of spiders, look away from your screen for a few moments here. I will tell you when we are done. But I am far too intrigued to see what this thing is like. This behemoth of a spider.
Yes.
This human of a spider. Let's see here. I gotta open up my tabs here. Goliath. Goliath. The fact that it has Goliath in its name, and then bird eater. Is it actually eat birds?
Yeah, they eat birds.
I wonder they're like the size of a baseball
mitt. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yo, B, that's great. That's great. Dude, Okay, I'm gonna show you guys a screen. If you're watching right now, turn away. This is your last warning. This is your warning right now. In 3, I will tell you when you can come back, by the way. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Close your eyes or turn away for a second. That is Jesus, that is huge. Like that's bigger than his hand. Look at that. Jeez.
There we go.
The fact that this guy why would you put that on your head? That is a menace.
It's
got hair.
Actually,
It's got more hair.
Yeah.
It's got more hair than I got on my head.
Sorry, Ali Gra. You know, I'm sorry. You know, but I am one of those people who love spiders. I love spiders.
That is nuts.
That's actually probably the weirdest thing about me. I love spiders.
Well, I mean, all right, we're gonna go back. Anyone who's not looking, you can look back now. It is just our wonderful guest Bear. No more spooky spiders anymore.
I'm so glad I threw everybody off with that.
Yeah, that you definitely got them. Hey, you think of me? I got it. Yeah, that you can hit that one's the live rent free in our house.
It's funny.
You can live in our thing here. For sure. No, that's nuts. I cannot believe that. Okay, so where did the obsession with spiders come from?
I thought it was quite haunting, but kind of cool, especially with like the Black Widows, because you know, like with the Black Widow, the female act like the male will mate with the female, but then afterwards the female's like, okay, you're getting on my nerves, I'm gonna eat you now. So I always thought that was kind of cool. Like, dang, the male spiders have it so rough. Like they gotta worry about getting eaten after they mate with the spider. But then like just finding out how, you know, you have certain spiders that like jump, you have certain spiders that have like very like really, really sticky web, and then you have spiders like trapdoor spiders. Like they literally can feel the vibrations from you stepping on twigs. As soon as you get close enough, snatch you just like that.
Ooh.
The fact that some of these spiders like have skills like that, I'm just like, what? Like how do you create these things? So weird.
Donovan, yeah, you missed a part. If we talk about spiders, yeah, no, we just looked at this spider that's about the size of my head. No. I'm glad you didn't come back at that point. You would have been outie. I hate spiders, but when I was younger, I went to a spider museum thing that was somewhere in LA, and there was a lot of cool looking spiders. What kind of spider I want to see? Search up the Goliath bird eater.
Yes.
Yeah, the fact that it's spelled Goliath to even find that thing is So your truths here. You love spicy food, so obviously the wings. What other kind of spicy foods are your
I don't know if Flash and Quinca are still here, but they've watched me on stream. I've eaten Maruga red Trinidad scorpion peppers on stream.
Jeez.
I've eaten 3 of them. First one, I was like, all right, so this is what we doing, and then like they like went bonkers and hit me with like a hype train. I was like, all right, well I'm already hyped up, so I ate 2 more. It was crazy. Love spicy food, absolutely. I got like 20 bottles of hot sauce in the cabinet.
Have you ever done the hot ones challenge?
Yes, I did that on my comeback stream. That was back in, I want to say either August or July. He ain't eat that peach reaper though. Yeah, you did, and you learned your lesson real hard because you thought you was tough, and you tried to dance it off, and it wasn't working.
Yeah, I'd be throwing up. I have acid reflux. It wouldn't go over too well for me.
Yeah.
To try,
but it's like I've had, and I ate a peach reaper today actually, dude. It wasn't that bad for me. It was that Maruga though. When I was like, oh wait a minute, this is hot. I was like, wait a minute, hold up,
wait a minute.
But then, like my body got used to it.
Yeah,
and it was like, all right, we good. I see Donovan just looked up that Goliath bird eater.
Yeah. I'm still itchy from you talking about spiders, by the way. Yeah, and more like a 4th hand in there somewhere. Yeah, they big boys. So let's go. You tried the hot ones one. Have you done the so you've done the last dab?
Yes, I've done that.
Is it how is it compared to like certain things? Is it all right or is it like bad?
For me, it was bad, but I know for like anyone else who may not be like a, if you want to call them a connoisseur, oh God, it's excruciating.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, no, I'll pass. Give me Texas Pete or give me Frank's Red. I'm not eating that.
Yeah.
What is that? Like, no,
Interesting.
it's terrible. It's terrible.
I have it on the bucket list to try at least once. I might be throwing up for hours after, but I'm at least going to try it. That's what I'm promising to myself. So, yeah, no, it's definitely. Have you done the Wet and Chip challenge at all?
I've done the ghost pepper and the reaper one. Now I think they have one that's like a reaper and a scorpion pepper chip. It's like a yellow one, I think. I may try that one. I'm just still trying to figure out, like, bro, you wrap this thing in a casket. If anyone is willing to eat something that's wrapped in a casket, you're a different kind of person.
You're next in that cat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Donovan said he was thinking about doing that for me first because he asked me when on Connections on Bren. He asked me what I would do for content, but probably nothing else. Nothing else. It probably would be like the chip challenge would be that. And
okay.
He laughed at me and said maybe we'll make it happen. I said okay. So the last one, the one we're most interested about, and I mean, at least I am. I'm pretty sure the chat is too. The chat chose us to the lie. They thought it was BS. You said you never went streaking during winter, so you have gone streaking during winter. Is that the only time you've gone streaking, or?
Yeah, I have. I
Okay.
got dared to do it.
Okay.
I was young, just wild and crazy. It was like, oh,
we get it. It
well,
was last week. We get it.
Yeah, I bet you won't. I bet you won't run around in the middle of a blizzard. No clothes. I was like, what? It started running. I was freezing. I even like went crazy enough and did like a snow angel. Yeah, I probably never do that again. Never. That was terrible. Everything was just freezing.
Making some popsicles out there.
Yeah. So yes, the throw off was the spiders.
Okay. So is that the only time you've gone streaking though? You never answered that question.
That's the only time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the only time. Yeah, I've never done it since then.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The beach is passing. Yeah. Really though, that spider is humongous. That is crazy. I mean, hey, I learned something new today.
Yeah, Donovan. I don't know why the Goliath bird eater is so huge, but it is massive. Like
crazy.
I freaking love that spider.
What's up, Initial? What's up, D? How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Thanks for joining us today. However, you came at a perfect time, D. This is the time of the show because I got it right. The chat didn't get it right, so usually we'll give away the gift card if the chat gets it right. But because we didn't do it, we're gonna have to save it for next Tuesday. You guys are gonna have to come on Tuesday and come and try and win it again if you would like. However, we have won something today, and that is a VIP of this channel. When we started this, there was only family members who got VIP for this channel. However, today we're going to be inaugurating one more person in, and you, Bear, are going to choose that person for me. So, if you guys see in your channel points, in a little Bren coin thing in the bottom there's a little sign that says pick me. It's a little hand that's raised and says pick me. Select that. It's 50 Bren coin. And from there, we will be picking a VIP of this channel, a new one. The only people who started off, as I said, was my family, my girlfriend and my mom. Now we have Pugs and we have B. This is the third ever to be in there. Once we hit 5, I'm probably going to stop that are not my immediate family. So that means we're going to start knocking off some. So right now you're going to be on there for a bit. However, if you'd like the VIP, put your hands up in the chat, please, so we can choose that VIP for the channel today, as we are giving away to someone in the chat for VIP. It's going to be someone here. Just throw those hands up. It can go to anyone. Really, it could go to anyone. I see some people popping in there. What we got here, and also just for those of you that have joined in, we also have !podcast, our podcast connections. The one you're watching today, everything is going on to all streaming websites. Thank you, Tiggs. All streaming websites. So if you'd like to listen there, here's what did Happy Mud Love It, choose a VIP. And remember, I don't know. By the way, if you guys haven't already, pick me for the thing for the so we can choose our next one. Yeah, I don't think he did because I think we got it wrong. I think or something. I don't remember, to be honest with you. I don't remember. I do know that B, you were the last one that's won. B, I know that. I can't remember who picked you now. I'm like not thinking it through. All right. Well, I think because we have a lot of VIPs in here today, we haven't gotten too much. Oh, that's right. Dre is also a VIP. So that's actually leaving only 2 more spots. You're right. I forgot about that. That is correct. So maybe it was Dre? I can't remember. Thank you, by the way, for the host. Appreciate that. So, we got the pick-me's. You got 2 to choose from here.
Okay.
You got either Wolf, Solemn Wolf, or only Damien 33 to choose from. If anyone else would like to come in, you got like 5 more seconds here to put in your pick me sign there in the channel points. You scroll down there, click pick me, and just click redeem. And that will put you as that one there if you'd like to be in. You got like 5 more seconds though. So I'm gonna give the floor to you. Who would you like to choose as the person you are picking?
So we still got between Solomon and
Yes, Solemn
Damien.
and Damien. Yes, that's correct.
Let's go with Solemn.
Solemn. Alrighty. Well, we're gonna actually. You know what? I didn't run this today because I forgot about it. But run that success. There we go. Well, welcome, Solemn, to the family. Slash VIP. Solemn Wolf. Dude, you're so late, my friend.
I know, right? It's terrible. Donovan, you are really not liking the spiders, huh?
Really though. Exactly. Welcome, Solemn, to the family. Appreciate that for picking a VIP for me there. Yeah, exactly. Get that head banging in there. Love that. Well, enjoy the nice little VIP badge there beside you there. I think if you do slash VIPs, it shows all the VIPs. So the VIPs, Mama Lisa, Ali Gra, Pugs, Behavior, Dre, and now Wolf. So that leaves us with 1 more person. So maybe on Tuesday, we'll hit it on Tuesday. Just maybe that'll be the final person. So make sure you're there. And then after we do that, we're gonna start cutting off people. And then this spot of the creators having to choose is gonna be a way harder because you're gonna have to knock off someone and bring someone in. So pretty badge, exactly. Nice and pretty badge. Pain, exactly. I mean, hey, the family's getting too big. We got to make some cuts, all right? So that is 2 truths and a lie. However, this is the part of the show that we get enjoy it while it lasts. Really though, this is the part of the show where we kind of get into those deep conversations, those deep topics. The fun part, what I will say, because I get to really know the people in these things. So if you haven't already, chat, sit back, relax, have fun. Feel free to lurk if you need to, and hang out with us because we're going to get into some interesting conversations. However, I'm not going to throw you right off the deep end. We'll glide you in there. But I'm going to start with today's question of the day. And if you guys haven't answered already in the chat, question of the day, exclamation mark question of the day is, what helps you to relax? And I'm going to ask that question to you, Bear.
Music, the gym, writing, video games, for sure. Like even like the moments where like me and Mama Bear just like sitting back, just chilling.
Mhm.
That that brings me like just so much like peace. It helps me relax. Those along those lines.
Okay. I was reading what Malty said there. We lost bread one. I was like, what are we talking about? And then I look up,
Yes,
and then I'm
Mal.
like,
It's nice meeting you too.
yes, there you go. And I was like, what are we talking about here? And then I saw Pug's thing of 2 choose 1 lie, how to go. Yes, so I won. I got it right. The lie was the spiders.
Yes, I love spiders.
Which was shocking to everyone. No one guessed that at all. Everyone was saying that the streaking in the winter was the cap there, but I mean, yeah. But I think music and like going to the gym is definitely two good ones. Like it's ways to get out energy. It's ways to kind of um, take yourself out of the moment in a sense and get
Yes.
into kind of a different world, if you will.
Mhm.
I wasn't there. I would have carried us for sure. Yeah, pugs. There's a reason why there's a VIP badge society of pugs. Just because I'm interesting. I usually don't ask this one off the bat, but I'm interested to kind of hear because I'm sure there's going to be a good answer here. No pressure though.
Oh.
All I'm looking for is real. That's what I'm looking for. That is the best answer for me, as long as it is the real answer.
Yes.
What is the best advice that you have ever received?
Sit still and be patient. It's probably the best advice I ever received because sometimes we as people, we want instant gratification. Sometimes we want to get the reward, but we don't want to reap, we don't want to work hard to get there. Some people are just in a rush. 9 times out of 10, when you're in a rush, you forget something or you leave something, and it's too late by that time. So to sit still, listen, observe, and be patient. Patience is not a virtue that many have because people want it instantly. People want it quick, fast. They don't want to wait. Maybe at the moment, things might not have aligned up for you to receive what it is you're trying to receive. And if you're gonna rush it, then it's only gonna be excuse my language, half-assed. You're not gonna get the full benefit of working hard. I mean, perfect analogy, math class. Your teacher would mark your answer wrong if you didn't show your work, even though you got the answer right. But if you showed how you got to that answer, it makes it makes the answer that much more because you showed your work. You showed what you did to get to that point versus just giving us the answer. I think that goes a lot uh for people just in general. They'll show us the end product, but they won't show us how they got to the end product.
Interesting. I like that take. It's an interesting take for sure, especially of like the kind of the build up to it. And I think it almost is a weird analogy for this in a sense at the end there, like you said, was people kind of just show what the end product. You don't always see the behind the scenes
Yeah.
and the parts that go into it.
Yep. Absolutely.
For that matter of this is all about being able to make your creators that everyone watches on Twitch every single day a little more human. Not saying you aren't, but just saying it's like
No, yeah.
the ones who play games and don't really don't have the time to interact with chat or be able to get into these deep conversations because it's not something that arises. It's not the community for it. This is where they can come over here and maybe answer those questions that people didn't want to humans. What are that? What's it called? Maybe they just not don't come up in some sort of sense, and you get to see the behind the scenes of who the real person is, which is a lot more interesting to me personally. Like I think every creator that I brought in here is someone who has a great personality and that I can see on stream. But I want to get to know a bit more about them. Maybe some things that they've gone through that they might not talk about on stream. But we got a posture check. Yeah, I see you straighten up there. All right, that's a good one.
Yeah.
What are you most? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
You can go for it. It's all good.
No, you said what am I most proud of?
Wow, you got that off that. Wow. What are you most proud of in your life?
Oh man, it's a few things. But if we're gonna dig deep, um, one of the things that I'm very proud of, is of course as you and the viewership are seeing me, you see that I'm a pretty heavily tattooed man, right? People already judge, like they'll already judge me based off that preface alone. Uh, he's a thug, been in and out of jail, or whatever the case may be, right? Run my rap sheet. There's nothing on it. That is an accomplishment because the way I feel like society has kind of written my story before I was born. Three things: jail, drugs, dead. Before 21. I'm 33 now, and I'm about to have a child. I'd say that's something to be proud of. Never been arrested, never been in the system, nothing. So to know, like, in that sense, I'm doing pretty well. So that would be something that I am proud of, very proud of, because I want to instill that type of path to my child.
That's fair. It hurts me that that's something you have to be proud of, because I think it's you should be able to express yourself in any way you want to, and the cover on front should not be the only reason that it's the first idea you read of the book. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you read the book or not is because of because of the front cover. It should be because of the person that's deep down. And um I knew from the second that I went into your stream. I mean, actually before that even too, when I saw you on Twitter and I saw how you were and how you kind of handled people. But I think it sold it for me was when I saw how, like you said earlier, patient you are, and like your
Yes.
chat, like there is a lot of streamers who are scared of the dead air, if you will.
Yeah.
Not to say that you do, but I think that you are more comfortable with having a bit of a pause in your stream and
Yeah.
letting things sit. And I mean, Ken does this phenomenally. He actually is the one who's talked to me about it and said it's something that I really thought that I probably could work on, because I think it would help me with a lot of things. Is letting things sit for a little while.
Yeah.
And I think you're really good with that, and it shows that patience that you have, which is it's not easy to do. And yeah, it's something
No.
that I really admire.
Mama Bear tells me all the time, "You have way too much patience. You have more. You have enough patience for the both of us." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, somebody has to have it." Um, so I take that's one of the things I take pride in is patience. And Mama Lisa, thank you for the congratulations. And I see we got another question. Behavior.
Yeah.
Which tattoo has the deepest meaning?
Yeah, I'd love to know.
Well, I'm glad you asked because it falls in line with the question that Bryn just asked me. Um, the one that has the deepest meaning to me would probably be my stomach tattoo, which is an eagle with broken shackles, flying through the sky. Uh, for for me, if you look up the definition of an eagle is an apex predator. Apex predators are predators that no one hunts. They're not hunted at all. So the fact that I feel like that could fit me, because I mean, we all see what's happening in the world. Just a lot of just mindless killing and things of that nature. And I've already felt like, people in the minority have been hunted for so long. So the eagle has broken shackles, which represents freedom. But I have a quote that I made myself. It says, "Society will never make me a slave to stereotype, therefore I am free." So, in that sense, the stereotypes that society has written for me, I haven't conformed to those standards. So, in my eyes, I'm free because they can't get me on the standards that they've created. I set my own standards. Like, the goal is to not be a part of the stereotype. So, that would be the one that has the deepest meaning for me.
That's beautiful. I think and that's whose standard should always mean the most is yours, right? And that's whether you like, and you should always hold it at the highest standard for your
Absolutely.
personal self. Um, Thank you, by the way, everyone, for the spamming that love there. That's exactly. I think like I said earlier, I feel pain that it's something that a stereotype you've even had to fight against in a sense, or feel like you're fighting against, because it's not something you should even have to. But the fact
Yeah.
that you've definitely you are
And
not that
like,
stereotype, that does not define you, is definitely very
yeah, and
inspirational.
like, and not only that, but like, okay, so the one thing that bothers me the most, not only just that stereotype, right? But I also hate that my friends who may not be in the minority, my Caucasian friends, like they have to take heat for being my friend. For what? Why? Why can't we all just be friends? Skin color should not dictate who you choose as friends. Your character should. So
100%.
why is that a problem? My friends should not have to take heat for being close to me. That it th- it's annoying. I can't stand it. I hate when people like now I could see if I was like bad company, then it's like, okay,
Mhm.
you are totally within your right for saying that. But I don't put friends don't put friends in dangerous situations. And friends should not be judged off their skin color. They should be judged off how they treat others, how they treat themselves. If I didn't treat myself right, then that's going to be a reflection of how I treat other people. So no, I don't like that. And my friends who are not in the minority, who also may feel like, well, this isn't my fight. I don't have a voice in it, so I should just stand back. No, you absolutely have a voice. If you see wrong being done, you speak on it.
Yeah.
Don't
No.
ever don't ever feel afraid. Ever.
Yes. Sitting quiet is, in my opinion, I mean, maybe not everyone shares the same opinion, but in my opinion, um, is almost just as bad as being a part of the problem.
Yes.
You're not taking away from it at all. You are adding to it because you are
Adding.
standing by as this is okay. It's something
Yes.
I've learned from Mama Lisa is what's called being a bystander is something that is it's not enough, unfortunately.
No,
It's
50% of something is better than 100% of nothing.
yeah, for
So
sure. I'm gonna go back to something you said a little bit earlier in the show, because I wonder where this correlates throughout here, and I don't want to fall off of it because I know it's something you kind of mentioned earlier that something that you want to kind of maybe touch on at least. Talk
yeah,
about being blindsided by someone in your life and when you were growing up and getting early, and that kind of showed you and shaped your life.
yes.
Just wondering if you'd be able to kind of explain that to us and kind of the situations
Oh
that
yeah,
happened.
absolutely. I was 15 years old. I was sophomore, high school, playing basketball. And of course, when you're a sophomore and your coach is like, all right, you about to go to the varsity team, it's like, me? No, those are the big kids. That's the juniors and the seniors. Like, you want me like bumping elbows with them? So for me, it was kind of like a rite of passage. And I was so excited to like let my mom know, let my dad know. And mind you, I had just my father had just dropped me off that morning to school. So we plan, and it's probably about like 7 o'clock at night. And my mom shows up and she is like crying. I'm talking like puffy face, ugly crying. And I'm like, mom, what's going on? She didn't say anything at first. So again, I'm like, Mom, what's going on? She's like, Son, I can't tell you, stay over there. And I'm like, uh-oh, something's really wrong. So she gives the coach a hug, and I'm like, yeah, this don't look good. I don't know what's going on, but it's just not looking good. So then my grandfather, her father, takes me and we walk around the track at my high school. And man, it felt like we were walking like forever. And then we did like the final lap around the track and we get halfway around. And my grandfather was like, son, I have some really bad news. And I'm like, well, what's the bad news? And he was like, your father died today. And when I tell you, like, time stopped, like everything, the wind stopped moving. It felt like the earth stopped rotating, like, and I just hit the ground. And I was like completely floored by it. But it didn't like set in. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Like, let me try to figure this out as a 15-year-old kid. And it didn't like hit me. But then when we got home, it hit me. And I'm like, oh my God, my dad's dead. And I don't know what happened. And oh my God, like, I'm questioning why this is happening to me. And I'm like, well, what happened? So mom told me that he was murdered. And I'm like, okay, well, who did it? And there was this very long, unsettling pause that she took. Took the pause, and she was like, your uncle did it, his own brother. And at that point, life flipped completely upside down. Um, I didn't know who to trust. I didn't have any trust at that point because, and I stated this in Initials podcast. Um, and chat and Bryn yourself also let me know if if this makes any sense to you. If it was if it was a regular person that murdered my dad, yeah, it would still hurt because that's still my father. You only get one. You know what I mean? But the fact that it was my uncle, my own family, like a man who told me not to do bad things and ended up doing the worst thing, threw me off. The worst feeling I ever felt. And for a while, it would haunt me. I would have dreams. I would have the same nightmare every single night, um, of actually witnessing my father's murder. But then, like, my for some strange reasons, like my uncle always knew I was in the dream. So he would do what he did to my dad, and then he would come looking for me. And I'm like a little kid. You know how you had a horror movies where, the person hides under the table and watches the killer walk by, and then it gets quiet, and then boom, killer looks under the table. That's literally how it was. But it was like the way my uncle looked, his face was like black. It was covered in black, and all you seen was like red glowing eyes. And he literally went under the table, saw me, and said, "You're next." And then I come to, I wake up. And sometimes I'll be up, but I'm in like a state of paralysis with my body. I can't move. So that was terrible. And then I even tried. I tried to commit suicide. I tried hanging myself in my bedroom. And my childhood best friend, Aubrey, who his name is actually my son's middle name, um, he saved me. He he got me down. He talked to me. He did the best that he could as a friend to try to make sure I didn't leave this world. And then something tragic happened to him, and I couldn't save him. So there was a huge feeling of guilt. And then the crazy thing with my dad was the night before, my uncle had made a very weird comment. You know how somebody makes a comment and you like, wait, we're not just gonna fly past that like you didn't just say that. Like, said it again? And he had mentioned something about my father making him so mad that he was gonna kill him. And I'm already like, antennas went up. So my dad was, I think he was like out gambling or something. And I told him, look, wherever you are, stay there. Don't come home. Because if you come home, it's not gonna be good for you. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's not gonna end well. And he stayed home. But then that next day, that 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 last goodbye I got to say was the final one because I didn't. That was it. I didn't see him anymore after that. So that I spiraled. Like a lot of these tattoos that you guys see on me right now came from the rage of not knowing how to face my father's killer, which is his own brother. For a while, I wanted him like gone. If I could, if I had a way and I could have done it myself in that point in my life, I would have. Because that's how angry I was. I didn't care. At that point, it bothered you took something special from me. How dare you? And you took it from me when I was a kid. Like my mom, yeah, she's my parent, but she's not a man. She can't teach me what it's like to like exercise that part of me. So I was broken, very broken. Like, um, I would go out and like buy like a bottle of wine and then the same night drink the whole bottle, and I'd just be like, I would I would still be like coherent, but that mixed with like just blind anger, it wasn't a good combination. And I wrote probably over like 1,000 poems in like 3 months. And one of the poems that I wrote is actually on my back. It's my back tattoo. And that was a very, very traumatic point in my life. I didn't trust anybody. And to this day, some of that still lingers around. So for me, one of the things that I stand on is if I share something in confidence with someone, if you make the attempt to use that as a weapon against me, to me, that is betrayal. And then you start looking like my uncle, and I just cut you off because it's better than the alternative. Old, like younger me, angry me, would have like been physical and aggressive with it. Now I don't know. Mm-mm. I'm a firm believer in being the example I want to see in the world. So with that being said, I don't react with violence and anger all the time. Or hardly ever do, but only if I'm provoked. So that pain, that was a very, very dark time in my life. I've I would have never thought that I would be at that point. So yeah.
Wow. That is very, very. I can't even imagine what you had to go through.
Yeah.
And first off, I want to say thank you for sharing that with us
Yeah, no problem.
and being so open and vulnerable. Because it's not an easy story to tell, I'm sure. And I'm sure it
No.
brings back a lot of trauma too.
Um Honestly, like now it's a lot more easier to talk about because at first, uh I was just so angry because like wow, my father's gone, but he's not though. If I look in the mirror, I see him within myself. And now, I finally understand that I don't lose people. I gain angels. I gain protectors. And whenever the wind blows a certain way, and whenever the way that wind blows, like evokes something in my spirit, I know that that's them talking to me. It could be, it could be like a certain spot in a field where the sun shines in that one spot. It's like, wait, somebody trying to talk to me? Or it could be like the wind could blow away and it could feel like a smack in the head. Like, all right, Brandon, like, don't do that. Like, you messing up. You know what I mean? So I look at it that way. So it's not as painful now. I mean, of course, his birthday just passed. His birthday was October the 3rd. Normally, that's a very dark day for me. And next month, November the 20th, is the anniversary of his death. Those are normally dark days for me, but his birthday wasn't. I didn't spend my time thinking about the fact that he was gone. I spent my time just more so like thinking about, wow, I'm about to have a little kid. And yeah, it sucks that, you know, certain instances in my life he wasn't there to see. Like, watch me turn 18, 21, 30. Now about to have a little me who is also a part of him. So, I think it's kind of poetic in the sense that not only do I get to see a little version of me and my dad, but his middle name is Aubrey, which is my best friend. So when I look at my child, I see not only my father, but my best friend. They're not gone. I still have them.
With with your friend, you said Aubrey, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of implying and assuming here, just kind of putting pieces together. He's passed as well.
Yes.
I'm very sorry for that as well. And for your father too. I don't know if I said that before.
Yeah.
That's definitely not something to. I mean, it's one fact family, but also losing a best friend too, and someone who's meant that much to you.
Yeah.
Must have been hard. Must have been very difficult. I couldn't even imagine
Yeah.
put into words of that stuff like that. I'm in a sense I'm fortunate because I haven't had to go through something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
the really the closest thing to me was my grandfather, who I have a tattoo for of a paper airplane, and that's like my closest person. And
Yeah.
I mean it was from cancer. It wasn't from like something like a murder, which is I mean,
Yeah.
hey, something still took him from us, but it's not in a violent manner, if you will,
Yeah.
or as much, in my opinion. Obviously, yes, of course, hurt is hurt. I'm
Yeah.
sure just as bad, but I didn't have to lose trust in anyone because of something like that. It was, which is I'm sure hard, and especially like you said, when it's family, it hurts a whole lot more.
Yeah.
It's wow. Um, how's your mom done since all this?
I mean, for her, I think it was just like, and she told me this, and I kind of like was like, wow, I don't think I would have been able to do that either. How to explain that to me? Like I am my mom's and my father's only son. So if something happens to me, that's it. Well, now they have my little one, but um, just I wouldn't know how to explain it to my child. Like if something would have happened to his mom, or and vice versa, if something would have happened to me and his mom has to explain that I was taken in that way, yeah, I don't think I'd be able to. I don't know. I don't think any parent could. That's very difficult. And she's done really well with it. I mean, and then we've had the unfortunate. I mean, I'm pretty sure like these past 2.5 years have been rough on everybody. Just within the past like year and a half, I mean, she lost her mom, and we share that loss in common. Not she didn't lose her mom the way I lost my dad, but the fact that she lost a parent, we had to share that, and it was unreal. Watching her pull up to the house, and she kept her car in park, and she was like just hysterically shaking. It was like November 20th all over again. And I she lost siblings. She lost like two of her siblings, her mom, and then a best friend. So, it was that part was very devastating. But as far as like for her dealing with my situation, yeah, at first it was very hard to explain. And then to tell me that, family did it, it was different. And Ali Grassi, you said, am I still grieving the loss of both? No, I'm celebrating it because they were able to fulfill my life. Um, Aubrey gave me the strength to carry on, and I know like giving up is not what my father would have wanted. And I didn't give, and I reached that point where I almost gave up, but Aubrey got me out of that. And, now here I am, uh, sharing the story with others, and also, trying my best to help them in any of their, stories that they may have or issues that they may have, because I know that's what my father would have wanted. I know like when we lose people, giving up seems like the easiest thing to do, but we also got to remember who's still here after we're gone. We don't think about who we may hurt in the process. So I don't ever want to leave abruptly like that, and, end up causing more pain than I could have had I stayed. You know what I mean? So, but that hopefully that answers your question, Ali.
Mm, I was gonna say amazing, but that's not the word I think is appropriate for this. It was very well answered, though. I agree. It's something no one should ever have to go through, and I feel like my heart's been ripped out of my chest for you, because I feel like it's you. Like you kind of taught on the thing is like it adds even an added layer with it being a father, and
Yeah.
not being able to have that father figure in that kind of those years of kind of, I don't know if
When I
growth.
needed them.
Yeah, but yeah, like, exactly when you needed them, exactly. And to have that literally taken away from you is
Yeah.
in a manner that's not like something of old age or something like that. It's something that
Yeah, you
where
know.
someone took that from you is very difficult.
Yeah.
I could never imagine. I hope. I mean, I wish that wouldn't even have to be a thing that you have to even think about. It's terrible that it even is.
And and that's why I tell everyone, anyone out there, for anyone watching now, for anyone that will watch in future, um, if you even if you got beef with your parents, try your best to mend it. If it's not meant to be mended, then at least, just check on them. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you gotta let the petty arguments go, because when they gone and they can't hear you say I'm sorry and things of that nature, it hits different. So, if it can be mended with you and your parents, just try to make sure, you mend your relationships with your parents, man. Because like having them taken from you by choice, like old age or natural causes, that's different. Having them taken from you by force, totally different. Totally different feeling.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Um, how close are you with your mom right now?
Me,
Are you
yeah, me. That's she's one of my tethers. Um, I know at some point, uh, she has to her expiration date will come. It's gonna hurt, but uh, if I lost her in a similar manner, like if I didn't have my lady or my little one, I don't know if I can make it. I truthfully, I don't. I don't, because like I said, she is one of my tethers. Her, my girlfriend, and my child. Those are my tethers. I start losing them like by force. I start like gravity doesn't exist anymore, and I start to float away. If that makes sense. So
Mm.
they are my tethers. My mom is my best friend. Like I've screamed in front of her. Like she's the very calm, cool, and collective bear you guys see, right? She's seen me snap and me be the other bear, where I'm like a raging bull. Yeah, she's seen me be that, and that was a very that was an eye opener for me, because to see the look of fear in her face, no, no way. I don't ever want to. You know what I mean? I don't ever want to. I don't ever want her to look at me like that again. So, yeah, that's my best friend. I love my mother to death. I don't. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough losing her.
Of course, I think it's with as far as like family, it's something you never want to lose, of course. And
Yeah.
like I said, it's yeah. I could never imagine the situation you went through. I hope I wish that no one ever had to even go through that, but it's something that obviously, of course, you didn't have a choice and things like that.
Yeah.
Kind of going on from there. Hello, Sharky, by the way. I see you've joined us. Good to see you today. Um, how happy are you right now?
I'm extremely happy. I like the fact that, I have like I said, I have a little munchkin now. I have a little twin that I have to raise and teach them, the cold hard and unfortunate truth about the world today. Yeah, my son he'll have a mixture of both, but the world doesn't see him that way. The world is going to look at him like, oh, you're a child of color. So, all right, let's see if he checks these three. Um, See if he checks these three boxes. Okay, jail, death, drugs. Yeah, no, not if I have anything to do with it. No. So I'm extremely happy. I mean, I'm still able to do a lot of the things that I'm able to do now as an older man, that I could do in my younger days. And oh, and dude, I see your comment. Nah, bro, you don't got to get that back in blood, man. That ain't the way. It's not. I know. Trust me. I get it. That's how I wanted it. Not now. Nah, bro. You don't need to do that. That's not the way. It's a better way. It's a better way to deal with that. I know it's easier said than done. Trust me. I done walked down that path and I done seen how dark that path can get. But no. Nah, man. Sometimes we gotta sit still, process the demons, and deal with them. Sometimes we may have methods that may not be that may not be the best, but you keep genuine people in your corner, you keep people that are honest, bro, you'll get through it like I did. Of course, I had like darker moments to get me through that, but I'm still here, and you don't gotta, nah, no way. But going back to it, I am extremely happy. I'm extremely blessed. I'm grateful for everything that I have. I'm grateful for everything that I've attained, all the energy, all the strength, all the willpower that I've had to have to get to where you know, to where I've gotten to now. Yeah, absolutely. And Donovan, yeah, try. That's all anyone can ask of you, man, is try. Try your hardest to mend it. If you can't, you let it go. That goes for anybody. If you can't mend it, some things ain't meant to be mended once they're already broken. All I'm saying is try. Just try your best, see where it goes. And if not, just at least still check on your parents. You know what I mean? At least do that part if it doesn't work out. Uh, but to answer your question, Bryn, yeah, I'm extremely grateful and I'm extremely happy for the way that life is going for me right now. Absolutely.
That's great. You deserve nothing but the best, buddy, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you. And we all do. You know what I mean? I want the best for us all. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody to have to I wish we didn't have to go through such horrific things in life, but I think that is a test of our character to see how we deal with moments of adversity and how we grow from it as well.
Mhm. Yeah, no, it's definitely it's hard that it has to be that way, for sure.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
I wish it didn't have to be that at all. Like it's I feel like I'm repeating myself a little bit, but I'm especially after the initial thing. I felt, and this doesn't happen to me at all. I've done 30, almost 35 of these podcasts at this point, and I don't think there's been ever a time that I've felt speechless and didn't know. And I'm sure it was probably based off of the betrayal that you had to go through all that, and also in the grieving part of it is also like the betrayal feeling too is just so difficult. And then to see you not be to succumb to your circumstances, and like I think a lot of people else would agree is that something's taken by force. A natural kind of feeling or reaction is retaliation.
Yeah,
And for you to look back and say, no, I don't want retaliation. I just want to treat people better than and improve this world, whether it's in me or my child, like in growing up, and that's something that's very special. It's admirable for sure to see something like that, and I'm sure that wasn't easy, and it wasn't a click of a switch, and all of a sudden it happened all of a sudden. But it's definitely something that you work on, and you've definitely done
yeah,
an amazing job with that. I'm sure.
absolutely.
Um, Unfortunately, I'm keeping you on this sensitive topics here,
No,
but
yeah, no.
can you remember the last time that you cried, and what was the reason? Also, before I get into that too, is how is I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. I'm looking at chat and I've read some. I know I haven't read them out.
Yeah,
I can see your eyes glazing through them too.
yeah,
And to thank you guys for being as vulnerable as well. These are
absolutely.
conversations as much as it is my I don't know pleasure, but it is something that I am passionate about, to sharing conversations like these and having conversations like these, because I think it's important. Um, Never could would I have imagined when I started this that people that are watching in the audience would share their stories and how they feel. Like we said at the very beginning of this episode, is conversations like these are important because it makes you be able to relate with not only one another, but someone that you like even look up to, and someone who maybe is almost a larger than life being in a sense. and the impact of someone that you look up to as an influencer or something like that, and realizing that they've gone through some shit too, is it's a little bit easier to kind of understand what they're going through and easier to relate with them, and realize that with help you can definitely make it through too if things happen like this and stuff like that. And
Absolutely.
not, I don't ever want you guys to think as, oh, people have it worse, because I don't think that's not the right way of looking at it. It's the fact of, let's get through this together, not let's try and do it on our own. It definitely is. It's a hard one for sure.
And I'll even flip it. I'll flip it on you guys. I'll tell you how, you know, God or the universe flipped it on me. I used to work at John Hopkins Bayview Hospital, and I've worked with psych patients. So there was this family that came in. They were pulling the plug on their an elderly woman. I guess it was the girl. Yeah, it was the girl's grandmother. And the family was torn apart. I mean, even I was like, I understand, like, you know, you want to keep them here, but keeping them here is also making them suffer. Wouldn't you want them to be not, wouldn't you want them to not suffer anymore? Absolutely. But still, like, pulling that plug is still like a hard thing to do, right? So the girl, one of the little girls was like extremely affected by it. And she had ran off and like hid in the bathroom or something. And, you know, everybody's grieving, crying, you know, speaking their piece as best as they can. And then everybody's like, well, what happened to the girl? Where'd the girl go? Where'd the girl go? And she had locked herself in the bathroom. At that point in time, I was the only officer that had the keys to that bathroom. I opened the door. This girl literally tried to hang herself in the bathroom, and I got her down. At that point, I felt like the world flipped my whole scenario on me and allowed me to save someone who needed it. She came out, you know, after a while, she saw me, literally like ran, jumped, and like grabbed me and hugged me and started crying. She was like, "Thank you for saving my life." And I'm like, "You're welcome, but this is, you know, this is me paying it forward. Somebody saved my life, so I feel like I had to do that." And it was just crazy that I was the only one that had the keys to that bathroom to get her down, and she's still here. You know, messaged her. I've messaged her before and just been like, you know, hey, how are you? Everything good? And things of that nature. And yeah, that was a very brilliant but ironic way of twisting my situation on me. And Ali Gra, I see your question. Uh, once, but it wasn't a good talk. It wasn't. If I had the string to, I would have like punched through the glass wall to get a hold of him. So I think at that point, yeah, it wasn't any point of me talking to him again. And then he had reached out to his daughter, my cousin, and told her, and this is probably going to make some of you, if not all of you, uh, either upset or very angry. But he told his daughter he didn't feel remorse for what he did, and if he had the ability, he would do it again. So it didn't make no sense for me going back.
It's not worth your time.
No,
You got,
not at all.
you got tons of better other people to spend your time with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm very sorry as well. I think it's one thing for the situation to have happened, but it's another also for the not lack of regret or lack of even
empathy.
Yeah, really, of just even understanding of kind of what has been happened. And yeah, it's terrible. I mean, at least the monster is locked up. That that's one thing, but it's terrible when it comes from someone that's within. That's what sucks, is it doesn't help. And I'm happy, almost proud, if you will, for you, that you've been able to find your partner in Mama Bear. because I can tell she is amazing for you. Like I see all the posts, I see all the things that you guys do together. You talked when you came in here about how you guys are watching shows together and stuff like that, and like
Yeah.
you guys share favorite shows and stuff like that, and like
Yeah.
you found your person, and that's amazing. And it's your, as my mom would call it, your earth angel. Um, and I'm glad because you really deserve someone like that, and it's good. I'm so glad you've gotten that, because, and I hope many more for you too, because it's you had things taken away from you for no reason, really, in my opinion, and you deserve things like that back for sure. I'm just gonna go back to my question here is can you remember the last time that you cried, and what was the reason for that?
The last time I cried, yeah, I could remember. Um, before I met Mama Bear, I was married, and marriage was rough. The last time I cried was um when I realized that it was time to go. Um, I mean, it's we have the memes and things like that where it's like, a girl says, "Oh, I'm cute, but I'm psychotic," and things like that. And it's funny, right? But it's funny until that actually starts happening. So me and my ex-wife were like getting into an well, she was arguing because I don't like arguing. She was arguing, raised her voice real high, and like started knocking stuff off the dresser. And I'm like, time to go. I don't. That's an open invitation to physicality, and I know where I'm gonna go if I go that route with you. It's not gonna be good. And then my life is over. So I left. Um, I left, was driving on the way to my mom's house, and she kept wanting to argue. And I wasn't going back and forth with her. And I think because I wasn't feeding her that same energy, she she threw she threw the racial slurs out. She threw the N word out. Like N with the hard R. Like either one would have been violation, but that one though, she threw that one out. The first time I kind of like blanked. It was like, whatever. But then the second time, I'm like, okay, you meant that. Now, my first instinct was to turn around and make a horrible choice, but I didn't. Kept driving, got to my mom's house, and I think I just let out like a really hard but angry cry because I think everything in my spirit wanted me to go back and make a horrible decision, but I didn't. I felt like crying, like literally walked into the door and crying and just let my mom know like what happened, and she was just like, "Wow, like really?" And yeah, I think at that point, yeah, that was it for me. Yeah, that's the last time I've cried.
Moms are great.
Yeah, they really, she really is. They really are. Moms are awesome.
Yeah. Um. Wow.
Yeah.
That's something I did not know about you, is that you've gone through a divorce. How long ago was that?
I want to say last year.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Recent.
Yeah, it's recent. Mhm.
So I'm sure I'm sure there's, I mean, it's a lot easier with someone so amazing as your current partner. But is
Yeah,
it?
and like, and with that, like, I was honest with her about it. I know some people aren't. Some people like, oh well, I'm divorced or separated, but they're still going to see no, like from the jump. When I knew like me and Mama Bear were gonna be connected, I'm like, hey, listen, just throwing this out there. I am separated, which in the eyes of the law still means legally married.
Mhm.
So if you want to take a step back and wait, totally respect that. If if you want to continue to be with me, oh, don't worry. The divorce is gonna happen. Like take all the paperwork and everything. But I want to present the choice because I think that's why people are so upset when you're not honest with your partner because you took away the choice of how they choose to deal with your answer. You didn't give them a choice. You hid the choice when you lied to them. So I wasn't gonna do that. just was honest. I was honest with her about it. And whatever she would have decided from there, I would have respected and understood. But she chose to stick around. I deaded that situation, and now look, we good.
Mhm. How did your kind of mental state go through when you went through that divorce and everything? How is that? Because obviously
It
you
was
went to
terrible.
mom's. Yeah.
It was terrible. I didn't work out. I didn't eat much. You know what I'm saying? Like I was smaller. Um, but then like something just was like, no, I will never be at the mercy of someone else ever again. So I need to get up. I need to do something. Because if I just sit here and let my life waste away, that's on me. I squandered that. I'm not about to squander that. So then, I started driving my energy into work, working doubles and working, just crazy hours. And then I ended up getting a second job, which like I was working 7 days a week. I didn't have any days off. I'm about to say if Duplicity is in here, he'll tell you 7 days a week straight. Like I would work my job I have now Monday through Friday, and then go to my weekend job 12 hours a day. So I literally put my spirit into work and like working back out and getting back to who I needed to be. And I did. And then, I just, and then I found Mama Bear, and then it was just like, all right, well, it looks like the universe is starting to tell me like the pieces are starting to fall into place. And then I picked up streaming. Um, that another huge shout out to, Dude for um giving me the information and the tools I needed to understand what I needed if I was going to stream, like the technology. Um, and then from that point, now I have this amazing stream setup that people have seen in my picture. And all of that, all of like just literally putting my heart and energy into work in the gym got me out of a lot of bad situations that I could have put myself in if I didn't have those things to guide me. And like, of course, my circle.
For sure. It's yeah, that's you've lived a lot of unfortunate things happening, but you've come out a stronger human for it from what I've seen. I'm I'm more or less impressed of the person that you are and how you handle yourself, not knowing like any of these things. If I was having a conversation with you, just regular on the street, hey, how's it going? How's your day sort of thing? And we're talking about just like random stuff, this, that, and this. Um, you wouldn't be the type of person that I would be like picking out as, oh, you've lost your father at a young age. You've
Yeah.
gone through a divorce that was quite scary and quite like messy at the end of it. Um, and then also seeing how calm you are, and as we said more in time, is just like patient and just like collected you are. And I'm sure unfortunately that's came from a bit of those traumas, but it's definitely been definitely something that I admire about you is how calm and comfortable you are. It's funny, we were talking today about before you came into the stream thing. There's obviously something you don't know about. We have every single time we have a guest on, there's usually a bit of anxiety from me. It's usually a little bit of anxious just because I'm meeting a new person. I don't know how this person's going to react. I don't know how they're going to take my jokes. I don't know how they're going to react to
Yeah.
certain things I say. I don't know if they're gonna let me in. Are they gonna be kind of have an ego? Like where is this gonna go? I have no idea. And it's funny, Tiggs, who is behind the scenes watching our things and supporting with all this, shout out to Tiggs, said to me before you came in, how you feeling? How you feeling about this? Like, what's your kind of headset going into this, or your mindset going into this? And I was like, you know what? I feel very
You're doing
comfortable.
great, Bren.
Thank you, E. I said I feel very comfortable. I don't feel nervous interviewing Bear. I think I can tell from just talking with him on stream and having really no other aspects of your life aside from looking at your Twitter and like your Instagram and seeing your Twitch streams. I got that vibe right away that you are a very relaxed human being. You are comfortable in who you are. You are not here to judge or take away from anyone. You're here to educate and support and I don't know if protect would be the word, but in a sense, others and support others.
Yeah, definitely to protect and support. You know, it's sad that we even have to address it, but I feel like it should be addressed. We have to end the toxicity within our own community. Um, you know, when the whole day off Twitch thing came, and it was people slandering others about streaming, not asking, hey, it, maybe that's their only means of survival. Maybe that's their only way of income. Who are you to judge or slam anybody? And then you have like some of the bigger streamers who heads got inflated because they've and to us, the people that support them, they've made it, but they forgot that they were us at one point. That's the problem with a lot of people. They get to a certain point and their heads get big because they forgot where they came from. They forgot how they were us, pressing live on their computer and not knowing if people were going to come visit you, having 0 viewers in on the view count. How dare you try to tell us, oh, it's not going to work? How dare you try to make fun of the foundations and the communities we're trying to build? You were there, so you should know.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you ever make fun of that? We just have to, we can't keep tearing one another down. Like, we can't keep throwing subliminals at people on Twitter and thinking that, somebody's not going to check you about it. No. Like, how dare you? Stop talking about positivity if you're practicing negative habits. No, you're a hypocrite and you need to be called out. And don't be one of those people where when you get called out, oh, well, it's just vague. No, it's not. You're pointing people out. But while you pointing people out, go in the bathroom, go look in the mirror, check yourself before you start trying to worry about how somebody else cuts their grass. Worry about how your grass is first before you start pointing fingers.
Mm-hmm. Kind of taking this a little bit, I don't know if off topic would be the word, but almost in a sense of how I can relate to it. I had this happen to me just recently in the last month. I've talked about this on stream before, but I'll explain it to you and the viewers that are in here today because I know we have a lot of new faces here as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I label myself as someone who supports mental health. I don't have it posted everywhere, but I have it it's fairly well known that I am someone who supports mental health and talks about it. And I think with human connection, I think the majority, not of course everyone, those very fortunate few that don't have to have any kind of mental health feelings or issues, if you will, that are very fortunate to have that as well. I would say there is a who am I to tell someone to take care of their mental health if I don't myself? And I realized that because I was in my own job, and I spoke about this as well because I think it was actually on the Man stream. Someone actually, one of her viewers, actually Meg, I'm pretty sure it was, who got the gifted sub today, came in and said, "How you doing?" Like to me, and said like, and that was and used the redemption for it as well, and it was kind of interesting, and it's funny because I knew right from the get go that Meg wasn't like, "How are you going? How's it going?" Like it wasn't looking for a good. It was looking for like a deeper kind of thing. And I talked about how like it was getting better because in the month of August I got told that I was moving I was moving to a location that was a much higher volume and a lot more stressful work. And of course at first I was trying to keep it in a positive mindset, be like, oh yeah, for sure I can do this sort of thing. And then I got there and I spiraled hard. Like my mental health took a big dip in it, and I realized that almost immediately. I was like within the first couple like in the first week I noticed it, and then the second week it was like, oh my god, this is bad, like really bad. I got to figure something out.
Yeah.
And I really fought with it because I went up to my general manager, who I'm very fortunate supports mental health, and basically said, I don't feel comfortable here. I think I need I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I don't feel comfortable here right now, and my mental health is not doing well. I need to do something about it. And she was very, very, very understanding and basically said, okay, well, you can go back to your old location. You can go to this other location that you've never been at before. You can stay here and we can try and help you work through it. Or of course, the worst situation, but we'll obviously support you if this means the best for you, is also you leaving and quitting. And so like after that kind of like thing, I think I was more shocked than anything is also to get that kind of that understanding. And then
Yeah.
also then after that it was okay, now the ball's in my court. I gotta decide what I want to do, not what anyone else wants me to do.
Yeah.
And my first thing that I said when I heard going back to the other location was my brain went to failure. You're a failure if you go back. You mean like it's you haven't succeeded if you go back to that restaurant. And I was like, it was hard for me. It was really hard for me. And I think the thing that was, and I was like, maybe I just stick it out. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Cause I don't want to leave the company. I really want to work at this company. And then when once I thought about it a little bit longer, I was like, okay. And I actually talked to one of my friends, and I've told this on streams before, is one of the mods here, Bardley or Bradley, comes in quite often. I don't think he's here today, but he has been my boy since day one, and he said probably one of the most wisest things to me ever. And it was something along the lines. I don't have the message pulled up, or I would say something, but it was something along the lines of, even though you aren't going, or you're going, even if you do decide to go back, this doesn't make you a failure. It just means that you're choosing a different path to go along.
Yeah.
And basically not to kind of get hung up on that, and basically said at the very end of it, I'm Team Bren either way. And
You're doing great, Bren.
There's Bardley, the doing great Bren. Thanks, Mom. And that was kind of like what I needed to hear. And I don't know why I needed to hear it from someone else, but I think it was a reminder of like that support of like, hey, like you need to realize that it's you might feel like a failure, but no one else sees that. And I mean, it's, if anything, I think I've gotten more praise for doing it and acknowledging my mental health and actually taking charge of it and being the one who's actually doing what I preach.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't easy. And it's definitely been something I would do again.
Man, it never is. You know what I mean? But sometimes in order to go forward, you have to take steps back. Even in chess, sometimes you have to move pieces back to assess where you are gonna move next. And you know, I'm very glad that you were able to recognize where you were spiraling. Because some people think like fighting through it or powering through it is like the best way, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes you need to sit and process what's going on. That's why I think everyone, if they can, they should take time out to grieve. Because when you try to, when you grieve, like when you put it into work, like, and you haven't really had time to sit down and process what's going on, you start to slip in areas of your life. You will slip in work. You will slip in your relationships. It'll have a domino effect. So I'm very glad, and I'm proud of you too that you made that decision, and you made the decision. You didn't make it for anybody else. You made it for yourself. Because at the end, if we're gonna be all the way real, you are all you have. That's it. So make choices that will benefit you, and don't do it for the appeasement of other people. Because at the end of the day, they still gonna have nonsense to nitpick about. You can't satisfy everybody. But you gotta make sure you're good before you can make sure anyone else is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's something that it was a weird thing to learn, because I've always been the one who's being able to kind of help people, and for me being the one that I'm like the help, the person that needs the help, it was a weird situation. But it also showed me also too is that reaching out helps too. Like me actually talking to my friends was the reason why I did.
You're doing great, Bren.
Thanks, Damien. The talking to like the mod team, my family, my mom, my girlfriend, like and kind of getting through that kind of way was a lot. That's where it started getting easier to kind of deal with. Dealing with just on my own was really difficult.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy, but being able to kind of talk it out really helped. Yeah, it's definitely that's.
Yeah.
Kind of moving on to the next couple questions here.
Sure.
If you could ask a single person one question, and they had to answer truthfully, who and what would you ask? And they can be dead or alive.
If I had to, it would probably be my father. I would probably ask him. Would it be my? No, actually, I would face my uncle because my uncle actually he passed in jail, so it would actually be my uncle. Um, and I wouldn't it wouldn't be to ask him anything. It would be to forgive him. I've already forgiven myself, but it would be to forgive him because I think forgiveness is the hardest part. It is. It's easy to be mad. It's easy to want vengeance. It's easy to want revenge. But you know how hard it is to forgive? Forgiveness starts with you first. And then you have to forgive that other person. But forgiving them is for your peace of mind. It's not for them. Because at the end of the day, he didn't regret what he did. So there's no point in asking him why. Why for what? There's not an answer him or anyone else can give me that's going to satisfy me. So it would just be to forgive him at that point. So that way, you know, it's it's just another level of peace
Mm-hmm.
because that's what it's about. It's about peace for yourself. It's not about peace for the other person. Forgiveness is never about the other person. It's about you and getting you straight. So yeah, it wouldn't be to ask anything. It would just be to be like, you know what? You're my uncle. You changed me with what you did, but I forgive you. It's just to show that I can be better. Wanting revenge is not the way. Forgiveness seems like a much more peaceful alternative. It costs energy to want vengeance all the time. I'd rather spend my energy a different way. So that would, yeah, that would be what I would say.
A lot more positive ways for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. What social stigma does society need to get over?
Not everyone's a thug. Everyone isn't like a bad person. Sometimes you just need to ask the right questions to find out where or what background they come from. Some people have things that may have happened to them in their childhood that they may not be okay with talking about. And those may have been the things that may have changed them. But at the end of the day, like everybody's not bad. And I wish people didn't have to go through things, you know, to get that type of feeling like I did. But um everybody isn't bad. And everybody isn't a thug. Everybody doesn't have bad intentions. Uh there are very good people in this world. There are also people who can hide it very good as well. So I think that's one. Um, I think another one is uh, they say all people are created equal, right?
Mhm.
Totally not the case. Certain things happen to certain people that would never happen to others. That's not equal. That's like convenience, almost in a sense. So those are the two offhanded I could think of, like immediately.
I like those. So obviously we've heard today a lot about your life and life events that you've gone through.
Mhm.
This one, I mean, hey, if you can use as one you've already said, if you have another one, you can always say that as well. But what is a life-changing event that you have experienced?
Definitely that one. Hmm. Uh, Another one is probably one of my most one of my most luckiest moments. I was walking home from the store and I got robbed at gunpoint, but the gun jammed when they pulled the trigger. That was another one. Um, it made me understand like there's just a lot of things in life you can't control. You're not in control of your own life. Like the only thing certain in life is its end. But from the moments leading up to your birth and to that end, you try to live life as best as you can. And you try to, I mean, I guess you try to live it the right way. But that just made me understand that like time is short and I won't spend it like being negative. You know what I mean? I just won't. Um, yeah, absolutely, Ali. Yeah, you know, my mission isn't over.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a job to do, and when that job is done, then you know it'll be time for me to go. I always I might get this quote put on like a sweatshirt or a hoodie or something. I always say this quote, and I say it because you know, of course, I've gone down the path of you know almost committing suicide, and I tell people people look at you by the cover of your book. But what about the people that want to read the chapters? Don't stop writing. Don't cut your story short because someone else is always interested in reading it. Keep writing. You have a mission to complete. You have a job to do, and it's not over. So don't cut chapters out of your book because you think that they may not be intriguing enough. If and this goes out to everybody, small streamers, people, new streamers, whatever the case may be. If you think your impact is small, think about a mosquito. One bite, they can end your life. They can, like H1N1, malaria, whatever. They carry all kinds of things. This little small bug bites you once, it has an impact. So if you ever feel like you don't, trust me, you do. You just have to work hard to see it. So, but that is another life changing event.
I don't know if you saw the look on my face, but I could not believe that's amazing. Oh, I like it, and I agree with Ali. Is universe wanted you here. So it was definitely sending a message for you for sure. And I mean, I for the small streamers type of side of things of you're feeling like you don't know if it's you want to should continue.
You're doing great, Bren.
Thanks, Tiggs. Or if you should continue on in senses like that. But I think people forget how many people amount to 3 people, 5 people, 10 people, 15, 20, 30. Like, that's a lot of people. Could you imagine if 5 people walk through your door right now? It's a family.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's that, and maybe some more. If you really want to put it that way, like right. that's a lot of people walking through your door just to spend time with you. Like it's even though it's 5 people that are spending their time, their day. That's what I say. Like this is one of this show. Like I struggle with asking for people to subscribe to this in a sense, or showing any kind of worth of like monetary value to this. This is human conversations.
Yeah,
really all it is. Like there's nothing special to it. I mean, I have a couple questions, and I there's an order, of course, I read them to kind of get to kind of get to the stories that I want to, and kind of learn about the people in a way I would like to, and I've learned a little bit of how to get people to open up a little better. and make them feel comfortable, make them feel not feel like they're like, oh my god, I got to be like this perfect person on stream.
Yeah,
Because I mean, it's
yeah,
easy to feel like that. It's easy to be backed in your corner on a situation like this. You're coming onto a stream that you probably like. Some creators who've been on here have never even seen connections. They just know of this idea, and they're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I mean, we've had creators before who's like freaking out, and so yeah, and I'm talking like big creators, like creators who like you'd think would be like, I mean, you would assume that what's called that
yeah,
they would have like kind of like a comfortability to them at this point. And I think that's why some of those creators have been my closest friends, is because they've been so open from the beginning of basically being like, even before they even really knew me, messaging me saying, hey, I'm really excited to do this, but I'm really nervous to do this. And it's funny because by the end of those have been some of my favorite episodes, is the ones who coming in and they've been really open with me, like, hey, like I'm really nervous, but I want to do this, and this is really something that I'm excited to do, but I'm also nervous to do. And we've gotten some of the best kind of conversations out of stuff like that. And
yeah.
it's there's a lot of people on this platform that makes this job look easy. And I can tell you right now,
It's not.
it's not all butterflies and rainbows every single day turning on that camera. And
No, it's not.
I had a conversation with the friend who that brought Santa in here the other day on his stream when I was messaging him and stuff like that, and we got into these deep conversations on his just chatting, and he made a comment, and I'm like drawing a blank to it now as I'm saying it. About turning on the camera, and he's been a streamer for probably about 6 to 9 months or so. So like he's been around for a little while, and he's doing it almost daily at this point. He's had a quick rise to fame, an awesome dude, and I asked him a question about, hey, like how are you, like what's your feeling towards turning on that go live button? Like when before you hit go live, do you feel kind of anxious? So do you feel like there's any sort of thing? He's like, every single time, it has not changed ever since the day I started. There's like that pressure of like, is anyone gonna like me still? Are people still gonna be watching? Do people want to spend that energy and execute that energy for me one more time, one more day?
Absolutely.
Because he's like you said, there's no guarantees in life. I mean, one day eventually, I'm gonna turn on this camera, you'll turn on your thing, and that's the people that maybe the 100-esque people that we maybe once knew aren't gonna be there anymore. And it's enjoy the time that you have, enjoy the process. It's part of the reason why I haven't looked at any of the stats in a little while, is because I think it's taking away from what really good this has been, and I've learned so much more because I've been more focused on the
Connections.
Yeah, really. Exactly. It's like it's been focusing on the guest and not so much on the numbers and the destination, if you will. It's the process and the journey, and that's been way more fun for me. And I've made a lot more connections out of it. I've been able to kind of get to know people because of it, and I'm so fortunate for that, because I don't think I would have it any other way, really, by any means.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
Yeah. It's hard not to look, especially when you're starting, but it's definitely better in my opinion.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What's one thing that you hope to never forget?
One thing I hope to never forget will be well, I'll give you three things. One, when little man gets here. Just I wish I could have like an outer body experience where I get to see myself go into dad mode, and because at this point, everything I do, everything I say will be studied, watched, and duplicated by him. So I got to make sure all this energy that I'm giving out, I'm giving out in front of him, because even when we think they don't see, kids see. They see everything. They do everything, they get into everything. So I want to make sure, I'm being the proper example for him. Number two, probably all the moments that I've had on stream, um, like having people vent about, you know, very dark things, and them reaching out, like them off Twitch, them reaching out to me on Twitter and being like, dude, you have no idea. Like when I had somebody tell me like, dude, you have no idea how much you saved my life by just listening. I'll never forget. Like that sent my soul for a spiral. It was a feeling I couldn't shake. I felt that feeling for the whole day. And it was just like, wow, just from pressing live, this is what this is what I've been able to create in my own channel. Uh just to know like you have that ability. Um I don't ever want to forget that because yeah, playing video games is cool. It's great. I love playing video games. Been an avid gamer since I was 5. But to be able to like talk and have those awkward, difficult situations, to have those icebreakers, to let people know like, hey, you know, um, we may not have gone through the same thing, but there are similarities. We may have gone down different paths, but we're at the same point. We've reached the same point. So you're not alone here. Like your fight doesn't have to be just your fight. And then number 3, um, I don't ever want to forget when I first hit that live button. For me, that is my slice of humble pie. It is to let me know that even with the following that I have now, and I say this all the time, I could
You're
literally
doing great,
go
Bren.
live tomorrow and it says I have 1 million followers underneath my name. I will never stop tweeting support small streamers. I will never stop. Why? Because that's where I came from. I don't forget. When you forget, now you're a different person. I'm gonna be the same person I was since I had my laptop, my PlayStation 5, a small 27-inch monitor, and I was streaming off, that's how I started on Twitch to now being able to have this enormous setup that I have now. I'll
Mhm.
never forget.
I don't know if I'm sure you do part of it, but I don't know if you know the amount of community that you've built, even just for me, because obviously I can't speak on anyone else. But to kind of put it into a bit of a perspective for you, is I have, through your things of tweeting other people and messaging other people, I have maybe not met, but I've gotten to see streams and gotten to talk about to them in different forms or fashion, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on in Twitch streams, whether it's actually talking to them in a call on Discord, or whether it's even having them coming up as a future guest on our show. You have brought me a sense of community on Twitter just by not even really knowing you, just by kind of having a mutual friend of yours or mutual friends of yours,
Yeah.
in Ken, Doob, and and even I would say Falk too.
Yeah.
The even though I haven't like really like I've met Falk as much as I've met you before today's thing. Seems like a great dude. I mean I don't know enough about him to be kind of giving any sort of stories, but I would say is I know enough about him to know that he's a great guy.
Yeah.
And I can tell that from how you do and Ken all speak of him. But even past that is I've also met I'm gonna mess up some names here. Zofera.
Oh, Zofaria. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Zofaria.
Yeah, she's awesome too. Yes.
Met Raven. I've met Initial D. And that's just a few. Actually, from Zofaria, is it right? Is Zofaria? I've actually gotten to meet another creator by the name of Tripmac, who just finished up a
Yes.
crazy subathon, and which is also weirdly enough correlated to, this is what I love about Connections, is actually also knows of this Tuesday's guest, Johnny, and it just goes to show how small the world is. For instance, another little small world thing too. So I was going through your Discord this morning to say hi to everyone and just be like, "Hey, I'm excited to meet you all guys today," like I usually do for most of them. And one of your, what do you call them? It's like Mayo something, Mayo Club. On Discord?
Uh,
You have something that's called like a mail something on Discord. It's like a role on Discord.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
One of the people that were there, and that's the only reason it even popped in my thing is because I saw that. Where is it here? I can't seem to find it right off the top of my head here, but the name was Tish XO, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Which is funny because in a little small world, I met Tish before on a past connections through another creator, which I would have never assumed you guys to know each other with Mr. Monkey, which is just kind of you live literally across the world from each other, and it's someone who's watching both and stuff like that, and big in both communities and things like that, and so it's those sides of things are just so interesting to me. This is what makes connections special, is being able to kind of, I mean, it's at first I don't think I realized what was kind of getting into here, but now seeing how kind of things build up and go to, it's just been amazing. It's been so cool to watch everything kind of build and how people can connect in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's one of the reasons why I do the shout outs. I love being a madman on Twitter and shouting out everybody. What I try to do is I try to do like a mixed batch. I don't try to put everybody in the same shout outs all the time. I try to, mix everybody up. So, because it's a big community. And I feel like everybody deserves to shine. So, I want people to cross paths. I want people to check out each other's content. I want people to make, pun intended, connections. And, I want people to grow. I want people to expand on their communities and also bring other communities in,
Mhm.
which, is why before I raid someone, I always say, when we raid the next person, you say all love here, because now with all the hate raids and everything, raids have a bad connotation to it. And it
Mhm.
sucks because, like, at first, raids are a huge thing. Somebody else took the time out of their day to bring not only themselves, but their entire community to you. And now people have done it out of fear to protect themselves, because now it's like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna get hate raided, or I don't know if, I don't know if this is like a genuine raid. So I try to like ease the tension by telling everyone who's in my stream, hey, we're gonna raid this person. I want you guys to type, hey, it's all love here, to let them know you don't have to have your guard up with my community. My community is gonna laugh with you, they're gonna joke with you, they're gonna vent to you, they're gonna appreciate it. And I think that's something we need to do more of, honestly.
Definitely it's a good idea for sure. We'll do that today for our raid for sure. What's it called? And welcome, Jakey boy. What'd you miss? You missed a lot. But however, if you do exclamation mark podcast, we're gonna start posting every single podcast on every podcast platform for you. So exclamation mark podcast, get you the link. You can go and subscribe on whatever you use. Go check them out. Not everything is up there yet. I will have them up very soon, as much as I can. But you can always go back and see these episodes on there in the future. But we appreciate you for stopping by. Good to see you, Jakey. However, you unfortunately look like you're coming around the end of this episode. And Bear, I don't know if you've watched to the end of one of these episodes yet, if you've been able to, because I know we're on a weird time zone and this is very late for you right now. But I'm still going to what's it called at the end of every single episode. All the Australians are waking up. Hello, Indian Special.
All right.
The at the end of every episode, we ask this one question, and I've loved this question since the first episode that I started using it. I will always use this one as probably the one for a long time because of how amazing it is. And I'm sure we're gonna get a great answer from you, because there's been great answers across the whole thing, the real answers, as I said it from the beginning.
Yes.
And I'm assuming this will be no different. But if you were to write a book about your life up to now, what would the final line be?
You're stronger than you look.
That's awesome.
It's either that or appearances can be deceiving. because most people would look at me and not think that I've endured what I've endured. But I think you're stronger than you look is a lot more powerful because um, I don't know how anyone else could have handled what I've endured. And I don't know if I could endure what anyone else has gone through. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But to know that I've made it out of a very, very dark period. I'm still here and I'm able to, spread the message as best as I can. Yeah, you're a lot stronger than you look.
That's beautiful. Well, everyone who's been here today, this has been the Bear Project, also known as Bear, the lovely, the amazing Bear Project. If you have not already, exclamation mark guest. I'm going to throw it up for you guys here. Exclamation mark guest will give you every single one of the links for the Bear Project. If you haven't already followed him like before, what are you doing? I'm just kidding. Let's go. But please do yourself a favor. Go follow him on Twitch. Go follow him on Twitter. Go follow him on Instagram. Every single platform that I've followed him on, I have not been upset about by any means. Whether it is the deep conversations like the one we had today on Twitch, whether it is the community building on Twitter, or just as every single day life of him and Mama Bear and the soon to be baby bear, what's it called on Instagram. It is worth the follow 100%. Thank you so much.
This was awesome, man.
Thank you.
I'm honored that you picked me to be a guest here. And of course, we've had conversations in prior, how, connections has been an influence to some of the things that, I've brought out to the light, such as deeply rooted and even to an extent like bare your soul. So, I definitely want to thank you and show my appreciation for everything that you're doing. Like you really are doing great things right now with this, who are you and connections and everything. And man, don't don't stop, man. Keep doing the great work, man. You're doing awesome.
Thank
Seriously.
you. I really appreciate it. I don't think you realize the impact that that comment had that you said when you sent me when you said that you're basing deeply rooted off of kind of a connections kind of base and you kind of want to give me a heads up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that and I think it was I don't know how you worded it exactly, but it seemed like you were kind of looking for a blessing and I was like, dude, you have no
Yeah.
You're
idea.
doing great, Bren.
Absolutely.
And
That's
I was
absolutely what it was.
if anything, it wasn't even it you didn't need that blessing from me. It was more of that was shocking to me because when I started connections, it was like I've told everyone a passion project of meet friends and kind of hear the stories of individuals and to hear that I remember the first time I clicked starting live because this is all I've done on this platform is just chatting or like the connections kind of style podcast. And I remember the first day I clicked it and the night before I could not sleep because I was like, are people that go to a website to watch gaming going to understand that I want to switch the thing totally different and take
Yeah.
their creators that they watch every single day and shine them in a light that's a little bit different from their seeing? Are they anyone going to understand that or anyone to vibe with that? And it definitely gave a bit of validation when you sent me that message. So thank you.
Absolutely,
It meant more than you could ever know. And to see it bloom into such an amazing podcast of as deeply rooted, and seeing kind of what you built and what your kind of ideas there, I can see it. And I love to see stuff like this because it opens a conversation for better conversations. And
Absolutely.
especially when it's handled in the way that you handle it, it's not just in kind of a way of give me your fucking money. It's in a way of let's talk about it. Let's actually have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Because these things are important and it's very, very touching to see stuff like that.
I mean, the money I can get back, the conversations, priceless. They have so much more value than a sub,
Mhm.
than a cheers, bits, so much more value. So if we can create a space where people are comfortable being themselves and they don't have to wear a mask or put on a persona to not only trick others but themselves, I think we're doing a great job.
as I usually say here, and of course I haven't had to say it to you because you've been open from the start, but I usually say to creators who have struggled to do it, I don't want to see, for instance, the Bear Project. I want to meet Brandon, not the Bear Project. I know who the Bear Project is. I've seen the Twitter posts. I've seen the Instagram things. I've seen the Twitch things. I want to meet Brandon, the person,
Ooh.
the human. And yeah, so it's definitely been a thing like that. I couldn't ask for more wonderful guests as yourself. However, this is the part of the show, as I'm sure you do know, where I give you the floor. I got time for you and your shout outs. Anything you want to shout out, anyone you want to shout, anything you would like to shout out. This is your time to go as I go and find our raid.
Behavior. I see that you said, this was inspiring. You're gonna rethink how you do your podcast. Let me know when you do your podcast. I would love to be a guest. So just let me know. And we'll, ink out a time for that. As far as shout outs, Flash, Dude, Ken, Bryn, Initial, Wreck-It, Zovaria, Simple Mom Gaming, Nico, Nicoya's Finest, golly, so many people. Sin Sister, Purple Passion, Solemn Wolf, Professor, uh, man, every single one of you. Thank you. Thank you for the immense amount of support that you've shown me. And I will do my absolute best to give that support back. And not only give that support back, but on uh continue on the path of trying to be a leader and you know, really pushing mental health to the forefront because it's so underrated, it's so overlooked. And it shouldn't have had to take for, COVID and people to lose jobs and people to go through all this stuff for people to now care about mental health. Mental health just isn't just a day. It's 24/7. We need to start fixing our own mental health and we need to check on people more. People we don't sometimes I don't think we understand how much are you okay does. It really can turn a whole person's day around, turn a whole person's life around. So, you know, we just got to keep strengthening one another and not tear each other down. Like, and if there is a such thing as constructive criticism, there is a such thing as honesty, but you can be honest without tearing a person apart. You can be honest, but we just have to. We're all works in progress. We can work on it, and you know, if we're asking Twitch to do better, we need to do better as people. Let's start there. And that's it. That's it for me, man. Let's go find an amazing person to raid.
I think there's no better person to raid except for our now new wonderful friend. Thank you, Tiggs. Exactly. Exclamation mark raid. Get those raid messages. It's raid 1, Tiggs. You're so close. Let's go. I appreciate there it is. Then the wonderful and amazing new friend of ours, Zafaria.
Oh yeah, she's playing God of War. I
She's
think,
playing
right?
God of War right now. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
The title is "How many times do you think I will die to the boss?" I like that.
Yeah.
So for those that are in here, thank you from me. Thank you if this is the first time you ever spent with us. Thank you for that. Damien, I know you saw Who Are You the other day, and now you came back to see what I'm doing over here. I thank you for that. I thank Tiggs for sticking around with us. I thank Donovan for being in and out, even though he had some very crazy things to do. B for hanging out with us. Doob. Alyssa, to Flash, to Indian Special, to Jakey, to who we got here. I'm scrolling here trying to find all the people that are here that I can see here. I know Mango was in here earlier.
Yeah.
I know Sharky was in here. Mama Lisa. And that's as high as my channel let me go. And Wolf, that's right.
Yes,
Wolf as well.
Initial, Twinka, every
Yes.
single one of
Initial
you
in
guys.
here too. That's right. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. It means more than you know. Like we said earlier, the money is one thing, the actual time and the willingness to listen to kind of things that we've said. It's been It's been something I'm very grateful for, and
Yeah.
I will continue to be. And I thank you. Exclamation mark guest, as Tig put in there, to go hit any of those links up. I thank
Appreciate that.
you as well, Bear, for coming on and spending the
Likewise.
time with me too.
Thank you for picking me.
For sure. Hey, I pick you anytime. But go spread some love to Zovaria.
Really.
A lovely creator, a lovely person. I'll put in that
Tiggs,
much.
thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
B, thank you as well. I'm so glad all of you came and you guys listened. It's awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
I see 18 of you in there. Thank you so much for spending the time with us. My name is Bren. This has been Bear on Connections. I will see you this Tuesday when you meet Johnny Says, who's going to be sitting in that hot seat right there again. And we do this all over again this Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I hope you'll join me on another lovely creator. And if not, well, I hope you have a great day, great night, and we'll see you when we see you. Take care. Drink some water. We'll see you next time.